outside. It's packed.
Check one. Check. Check. Mic number one. Mic number two. Yeah, mic number two works good. Almost there.
There's no way you could be beat.
I agree. I'm a dope.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's crazy. She is totally nuts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, crap, man. Where did my other... There we go. I'm getting it started. I got it going on. What's up? All right. And 3, 2, this button. Let's do this. Hi, there we are. Hi, look at that. And my old camera's back to working, which is lovely. All I had to do. Sorry. Why is that? That seems darker. Oh, because I fixed the ring lights. All right. It's always a something. Every time I try to do something, everything will make a mess. How you doing? Good. Dismiss. There's hello chat room. Control center. Yeah, my ring light's just not showing up. That's weird. So I'm darker than usual. It's like I'm like half kidney all the time. Hold on, let me try it again. Maybe if I just hit that button again and it'll just wake it up. No? Screw it. Let's see. Let's do this. I'll brighten this one. And I'll brighten this one. Whatever. All right. Now I'm okay. Now it's not as dark as it was. Hi, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, wait, sorry. Hi, chat room. There you are. Welcome to the show. Look at you lovely people gathered around in here. Hanging out in the chat. There we go. I'll straighten this up. Let's give it up for Can't Stop Lying and Andrea and the Fun Bunch and our little group that's always been and always will until the end. It's going to be a long one, kids. Hunker down. This one's going to suck. We may have to jump back and forth. I don't know. But Trump is all over Iowa, and we gotta knock some of this shit out of the way. So especially, I gotta say, I think this is the most recent one. Man, look at that. Level 3 hype train right out of the gate. That's because, and then of course, hello, you wonderful, wonderful people. Don't forget super chats, stars and bits. Great way to support the show. Venmo over there if you want to hit that. It's early in the month, so every little bit helps. We're trying to start 2024 off right. And if you could, just hit that like right away, because again, that tricks people into thinking I'm doing a good show. That's right, suckers. Wait, we have not hit 60. Have we hit 61K? Boom! Look at that. Come on. Come the on. That's what's gonna happen. We can make it right. We're gonna do it together. All right. Woo-hoo-dee-hoo-dee-hoo. I don't know why'd Ficus get all small all of a sudden. I gotta fix that shit. That's just wrong on so many levels. This is just funny. All right, hold on. Wait, I have yes. Is this guy right here? Yeah, watch this. All right, I think I got it fixed. It's a little bit fixed better. You better work on that, son. Ah, I'm nice and big now. Holy shit. Back it up, man. That's a little too much for almost anybody. What's happening? All right. Shit. That is some big stuff. I'm big in town, man. Looky here. That is something else. Let's tell you what. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I know what it is. My camera dipped down, which, you know, happen to anybody. Just, yeah. So hold on. This guy right here. Move this down a little bit. There you go. All right, I think that's better. I have to, yeah, it happened everywhere. Son of a bitch does doodle. Because I had to fix my camera and now it's better. Okay, we got it, all right? Let me tell you what. It's going to be, it's got to be right. It's going to drive me crazy. All right, let's go to this. He looks well. Let me back this shit up. He's in a small auditorium, conference room, meeting room, whatever. Losing weight by the hour, this dude. This is, you know, and not in a good way. Not, you know, that will happen when you not eat your no vegetables. When all you eat a fish sandwich and McNuggets with the skin taken off, that you end up looking like a McNugget with the skin taken off. That's what they told me. So yeah, let's dive in. God knows, and it's guaranteed they're playing. Are they playing? Also, couple of things about the lyrics of this song, if I may. Again, tiny rooms, not pulling in giant crowds. Let's just be abundantly clear. It's just a normal rally. This is closer to like normal politics. I actually think this is kind of healthier. But look at that, centering in on it's so meta. No pun intended. I got good video up and unlike the fake news. Okay, couple things. And I'd proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today. No, he wouldn't. This guy had got multiple deferments, said he had bone spurs when he fucking well didn't. Told his kids he'd disown them if they joined the military. The fuck out of here with this. I proudly stand up and defend her still today. From the warm side of a bay window with a mouthful of fucking French fries. The shit out of here with the, yeah. Just the idea that this guy, you ever listen to the lyrics of God Bless the USA? It's like, it is describing the opposite of, yeah, of everything Trump is about. Yeah. What's in it for them? I think I'm going to have to do a version of that song. That might have to be the sexy, yeah. I think that's going to have to be like the next sexy liberal tune. Right? Yeah, looking good there, buddy. Look, compared to, I mean, who needs giant rallies when you can be, you know, wagging your caucus in a room full of sycophants? Who wouldn't go for the local cult leader look over a giant stadium? And the rent's got to be cheaper. I mean, look at this. Certainly the low on headroom. I guess he's glad he's not really 6'3". Is he still? Yeah, he's still playing the whole fucking song. He's just wandering around on this cardboard stage. And I proudly stand up next to you at the Newton Holiday Inn. Yeah. Let's see when they start. Oh, yeah, they start clapping.
Wow.
Wow, such a shitty little room full of people. All the shit I had to skip last time. So much better this way.
And a very special hello, Iowa.
It was a very special Hello Iowa. As Hello Iowas go, it was one of the best. And a very special Hello Iowa.
Happy New Year. We're going to have a great year. We got to win.
We gotta win or I'm fucked. We gotta win because I'm running out of orange makeup. I'm professionally dusted. Jesus Christ.
Got to win.
We gotta win. We're not going to, but we gotta. I'm fucked. Look at it. Look at the whelp look on his fucking face. Look at just how, if there's ever been a face that says, well, not happening. Very special. Fuck me.
We got to win.
We gotta win Iowa. We're not going to.
9 days from now, the people of this state are going to cast the most important vote of your entire lives. I believe that.
It's a primary. It's a caucus in Iowa. Get the fuck out of here. No. Yeah, they're gonna. Half these assholes are gonna vote with their feet after this speech.
I believe that's the most important. I used to say it in 2016.
But then nobody had found out about all my crimes, and I hadn't even committed some of them yet.
And I'd say it very proudly and truthfully. And
then my eyebrows got out of control, and nobody told me. And I've got old man eyebrows and ear hair, and just my wife used to give a fuck. She used to come up to me and she used to do this across my forehead. Now she does it. She stays in Baltimore and is fucking some dude who works at Tiffany's in security.
it, but this is.
But now I look like the evil Ted Knight when he played all the characters in A Christmas Carol.
This is the most important because our country's going to hell. Like nobody.
Level 7 hype train on Twitch. What's up? Welcome. Thank you guys. Let everybody know. Let them know you're here. Also hit the like in YouTube so the trolls know where to be.
You believe what's happening to our country when you look at what's going on. You read the news, even if it's fake news. I mean, they can't hide it.
Sorry.
They can hide a little bit of it, but they can't hide.
Yeah, there's a little bit of it. They hide it behind the big stock numbers and the unemployment rate being really low and the numbers of jobs and wage growth and wages outpacing inflation. And they can hide it behind that stuff, but in reality, we're fucked.
You really can't hide what's going on.
Nah, you're in Newton, Iowa. You just go fucking look outside. Just open the screen door and you could just see all the cornfields on fire and all the carbon dioxide being pumped back into the ground near you for some unknown reason.
Including with the president. His performances are just terrible. Just
his performances. Really? These are performances? Projecting.
Terrible. So sad to see. He represents our country so badly. We're in such trouble because of him. By delivering a
Who? Sorry, you can't say his name. Is he like Baltimore?
Massive victory in Iowa. You'll send a thundering message straight to crooked Joe Biden, the fake news media, and all the evil and sinister people trying to destroy our nation. They're trying to destroy our nation.
Well, they're not doing a very good job because I feel like you could just fucking do it, right? You could just shit or get off the pot. I mean, how hard would it be to, I mean, did you see what happened in 2008? On their way out the door, the Bush administration was like, House of Cards, flick. They almost did it. All you have to do is not try to fix it. Maybe that's why he thinks he's incompetent. He's incompetent at leaving it broken.
Can only be the reason.
It can only be the reason.
With your vote for our campaign on Monday, January 15th, you will declare that we are going to take back our country.
But you will declare that this is the last fucking week I have to spend in Iowa for the rest of my fucking life. That's it. I'm done. I'm not coming back to Iowa. Ever. Fuck you people. The fact that I had to work for this is... I hate you more than DeSantis. Shit, it stinks in here. Oh, that's me.
We're going to defeat Joe Biden. And we are going to, you probably haven't heard this phrase, make America great again.
You probably haven't heard me say it because I say it like a fucking wind-up toy, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick. I don't even want to play the hits anymore. How is it that every freeze frame is just like, get me the fuck out of here?
And it all starts right here in Iowa, 7 p.m. It's Martin Luther King Day. It's going to be a big day. And I'm coming to Iowa. We're going to be picking some nice location. We have a lot of people. And I'm going to caucus, okay? I'm going to caucus.
I'm going to caucus. I'm going to caucus like Anthony Weiner. I'm going to caucus like Lauren Boebert's husband in a bowling alley. I'm going to caucus the shit out of this place. I'm going to caucus for myself in a place I'm not registered to vote. Yeah, he's gonna run. He's gonna caulk you. Run, Iowa. He's gonna grab you by the caucus. Beat it. I'm gonna caucus. I don't have anything better to do. What do you think I want to do? Go to court?
How important it is. We have to do it, you know.
Yeah, we gotta.
We have to slab it.
Yeah, you gotta slab it. Otherwise,
we're going to be a country no more. I actually think it will not. It will be a country no more. And just don't go by the polls. The polls show that we're leading by so much. It's incredible. Nobody's ever seen numbers like this. But
I paid for those polls, and they're bullshit. And they've shown me the real ones, and I am pooping right now.
We have to get out there. Every one of us have to get out there because it really sends a message for November, and that's what we have.
No, it fucking well doesn't. Ask any Democrat who won Iowa and didn't win the nomination, numbnuts. The fact that he's counting on the caucuses as his way of getting ahead and not the first, like, secret ballot shows that he just feels like the only way he can get this done is to bully people into thinking his crowd will show up and beat the snot out of you if you don't vote for him.
We have to beat the most corrupt, the worst president this country's ever had. He's the worst we've ever had.
I don't think he can do it. I think he's the worst ever, and yet preferable to you. That's gotta suck, man. That's shit. That's a bad position to be in. You've been literally this. Hey Claire, I met your new boyfriend. He can't dance. He's got bad breath and BO. He's stupid. His eyes are too close together. He's got hair on his back. He's got this weird kind of bulbous chewed bubblegum kind of a physique. He wears sandals and socks. It's terrible, whatever. And you still prefer him to me. I am, well, I could, I guess, do some self-reflection, but
it's not even close. The happiest man around today is President Jimmy Carter, because his administration, by comparison, was brilliant. I would say his administration.
For the record, Jimmy Carter created more jobs during his presidency, one-termer, than Donald Trump did. Both one-termers, all things being equal. Yeah. Jimmy Carter created more jobs. And in fucking the 70s, when there were fewer goddamn people.
Was brilliant compared to Biden. So don't stay home if you want to save America.
Don't say home. Don't, whatever you do, don't say home. It's a naughty word. It's a naughty no-no word. Don't.
Was brilliant. I would say his administration was brilliant compared to Biden. So don't say home if you.
Yeah, don't say home. Don't do that. That's a home. Home is a 4-letter word. Don't
want to save America. Each and every one of you go out and vote. You got to get out and vote. If you're a first-time caucus goer, you can learn how to caucus. And
from a video that Dan Scavino pointed out to me that Jason Miller made with an ex of his or whatever. I don't know if she was an ex. She had a black eye, so I assume they dated.
I'm going to have to learn too, by the way.
You were already president once, dumbass. What?
I haven't done this before, but
I didn't have to do it last time. I still, and this time I must be in great shape or I wouldn't be here. I don't know what I'm doing.
They're going to teach me.
Yeah, they're going to teach me. I mean, I told them I'm a Caucasian and I should have a natural talent for it. I had an uncle who was one of the great Caucasians that's ever lived.
I'm a quick study, and so are you. I think everybody in this room, at least 94% of you, are.
What, the other 6% are fucking stupid? At least 94%. What do you mean, the front row's full of dumbasses? Seriously, why bother? Why even say that? 94. 94% of my followers are quick studies. 6% of them, quite frankly, look like like fetal alcohol syndrome happened in their late 30s.
Quick studies. The other we accept their votes also, right?
Yeah, they're dumb, I suppose. What? I suppose we have to let them vote. They look stupid and poor. They're poor. They obviously, if they could learn any fucking thing, they'd have learned how to not be poor, right? What the fuck?
But you can learn how to caucus and find your caucus location, which is often different than where you normally vote. So you got to remember that at
You get
IA.
Jesus Christ, he's gonna fuck. It's fucking short for Iowa, dipshit. Just go straight to.
DonaldJTrump.com. So you'll get it and you'll figure it out. And
Yeah, you'll figure it out, and then you'll tell me, because I don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to know. I wish I didn't have to know this.
we'll figure it out all very quickly. I'll be figuring it out with you, but we'll get at it. It's actually fun. You meet great people. It's something very.
How do you know? You've never done it before. What the fuck are you talking about? I've never done it before. I don't even know how it's done, but it's a great time. It's super fun. Yeah, just get in the van. Don't worry about it. We have to put a bag over your head for security reasons.
Nice about it, to be honest. It's who knows if you're not.
Yeah, who knows?
Not married, maybe you'll meet somebody, the love of your life. You'll say he was the greatest president. I met the love of my life. I was caucusing.
Yeah, in Iowa, and there was this pig wandered in out of the field, and
I met some beautiful guy or some beautiful woman.
Woman, yeah, camera, TV, something like that. A big brain,
and
some stable genius.
We're going to appreciate it. We got to win.
We're going to appreciate it. I don't now, but I will.
This election. We're delighted to be joined today by some really fantastic people from the beginning. State Senators Charlie McClintock. Where's Charlie? Charlie, thank you very much. And you know the story with Brad. I've told it so many times, but I say it again. He was the first one in the nation to endorse me. He endorsed me before I knew I was running.
Yeah, blame him. Ugh.
Endorsed me like 3 months before I said I'm running. And I kept saying, who's that guy, that senator from Iowa? Who is he? Who is he? And they say his name's Brad Zahn, and he really likes you a lot.
And he's in the bushes right now. And do you want us to call the cops or wait till he finishes?
And he was a little earlier than me, but that's...
No, I heard it's good for the leaves. I've heard some people say that. Some people believe, very respected people believe, it's good for the leaves.
It's okay, and he was actually first in the country. Where is Brad? Where is Brad? He's around here someplace. I just...
We lost him. I don't know, somewhere along the way.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you.
Wherever you may be.
We love Brad.
Yeah, that's right. We love Brad, and we love...
Where's Dick? Hi, Dick. Do we like Dick? Yes. What? Remember that name.
Yeah, remember the name Brad. What was that name again? It starts with a B. Bro? Was it bruh? Bro. I can remember the name Brad. I can't believe this isn't in a teleprompter. This is amazing. He could do this off the cuff.
I call him the Marlboro Man. I call him the Marlboro. Come here. Say something, Brad.
Okay, first of all, it's Marlboro. It goes into an R, not Marlboro, because that's like the street outside a mall, I guess.
Well, it's a really easy decision to make. I can tell you that this is an incredible person, and we need...
I love him, and he's one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. I just love him,
and I'd caucus for him anywhere. I've caucused at his bushes. I've caucused on his plane.
him more than any time. So I'm very proud to be the first person in the nation and proud to be with the 47th President of the United States.
Even if we have to not use the actual Constitution of the United States and use the old sovereign citizen one, which I have a copy of in the trunk of my car. If you want to come out there with me, Mr. President, I'll gladly show that to you. And I want you to just sniff this rag if you want to find out what happened to the real Constitution.
No, I'm telling you, he's the Marlboro Man, Charlie.
No, he's not. Marlboro Man was a cowboy. Cowboy hat, wrote a thing. Just because he's sunburned. Just,
right? Doesn't it? Perfect.
No, he doesn't. Not at all.
Could use him right now, just put him on a horse, but you're not allowed to do that anymore.
It's not the horse. It's not the horse. It's a problem. It's smoking, you fucking tit.
Also, state representatives, Brad Sherman, fantastic, Brad.
Oh, another Brad. So many Brads. Remember that name.
Thank you.
Remember that name, Brad, because there's like 9 Brads.
Brad. Appreciate it very much. Heather.
The horror. I swallowed a bug.
Where's Heather? Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Is she wearing that top thing again with the nope? Oh, well, shit. Brad, move.
Thank you very much. And somebody that's been with me for a long time, right at the beginning, and he's been a real patriot, great guy, really fantastic.
What's his name without looking at the teleprompter? You're looking right at the teleprompter. That guy, that fantastic guy, been with you since the beginning. What's his fucking name without reading it? Would you say it without reading it? You can't just look at it and glance at it and know that he's next. You have to fucking stare right at the teleprompter. It's right here. He's looking right at it. Here, look, I'll show you. Ooh, slide this over. Check this shit out. There it is. There's the glass. You see the glass right there? Is he there? Yeah. He's my best friend. One of the best people, such a great American, been with me since the very beginning. He's a super guy. He's ready to move to next page. All right.
Person, acting Attorney General of the United States, Matt Whitaker.
Not Brad Whitaker, which I almost said. Former acting, by the way.
He's been a really great friend, Matt. He goes to so many events and
Yeah, so many, and he can't vote in any of these places, and he's probably going to go to jail for me.
He had a tragic event happen, I have to say, and that special person is up there looking down on you right now. You know that, okay? You know that, right? That's
whoever it was. How do you? First of all, how do you bring up a death in someone's family in front of a giant fucking crowd? I'm kidding. It's not a giant crowd. A small gathering. And then either not clear it with them so you can mention it, or just say it because you brought it up. So what are you going to do? Everybody walk up, what happened? What,
really something, but...
Really? What was it? Something really happened? That's good to know. I'm glad you didn't make up a death in the family.
Matt has been a great friend.
Yep. How was the person that died? What was their relationship to you and him and them? And
the stakes of this election could not...
fuck it. You're right. Move on. Why even bother?
...be higher. Under crooked Joe Biden, our borders have been absolutely erased. Millions of illegal aliens...
I blame the wall.
...are invading from all over the world.
Yeah, they're invading. It's an invasion. That's the important thing. We're being invaded. It's an invasion that we can, filter out. It's asylum invasion versus rejected invaders.
It's like a military invasion. Might as well be a military invasion.
No, I think there'd be a lot more tanks and helicopters, maybe some airplanes, parachutes. I'm just saying it would look a lot. I don't think they would come in single file. I mean, unless we're being invaded by the British, those motherfuckers.
But they're invading our country. Our middle class is being crushed by Biden's crippling inflation, violent criminals.
No, it really isn't.
Are running wild in Democrat-run cities.
Yeah, like Newton. This place is a fucking dump. I was outside. Did you see that guy? I was at Dick's Sporting Goods, and I was like, why am I seeing a dick?
Go ahead. Why don't you sit down? That way...
Yeah, have a seat. This is going to be boring. You're going to lose all sensation in your legs.
The people in the back can see I'm trying to be nice.
Try to be nice. That's right. That's like hold on. That's like Eric's thing. Wait 1 second. Go back up to you guys. Hang on a second, chat room. I want to pull something because CSL was nice enough to grab something for me. Let's see. Let's download that sucker. Continue and there. There we go. And then there it is. And we take this and we go open it. Where is it? And then we take this and we put it in. Let's grab it. Copy it. Excellent. And where does it go? It goes into, there you go, into here. And we go here and we paste it in there. Now I have to find a place for it. That's always the tough part. New Trump, this will work. I love doing work right in front of everybody. It's a party. We're gonna put it in there. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna do it anyways because we got it, and it's worth it. There we go. Soundboard, play audio, excellent. And we go and we get the file, which is this. This one is there we go. This one, excellent. Open, and it says, let's see if it works. No, you fucker, play it. Oh, it's still loading. Or is it the wrong format? Play, you rat. Oh man.
We tried to come off as very sincere people.
Right, there we go. That's the audio. Anyways, that's Eric Trump.
We tried to come off as very sincere people.
I love how he, by the way, fucks up on that and says we try to come off as sincere people and then decides to say we try to come off as very sincere people.
We tried to come off as very sincere people.
Very sincere people. It wasn't enough to fake giving a shit on a regular scale. Yeah. Did I see God Made Trump? Yes. I feel like we should cover that, but there's a lot of music in it, so that's the hard part. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to this stuff. All right, here we go.
Thank you. We gotta be. It's a great honor. Usually, what happens is they sit down, and then about a minute later, they stand up again. Anyway.
Yeah, because I'm so good. I'm just that good.
And it's okay.
It's okay. I mean, it's Newton, Iowa. I don't give a fuck.
Consider it an honor. I appreciate it.
I consider it an honor that you sit down.
Violent criminals are running wild in our Democrat-run cities while law...
You're not going to sit for this shit, are you? Violent criminals are running wild, and you're sitting there? What the fuck's wrong with you? I'm sorry.
Enforcement has been weaponized against Christians and conservatives and people of faith like never before. We've never seen anything like this before.
Post 9/11, I would say there's a little bit of...
You know, this guy goes around and says, I'm a threat to democracy. No, he's a threat because he's incompetent. He's a threat to democracy.
No, you're a threat. No, you're a threat. You're the threat. I'm not a threat. You are.
You know, you can be grossly incompetent.
Thank you.
And be a threat to democracy.
Yeah, I know. We were all alive during your presidency.
Because he's got us into wars. We're
No, he hasn't. We're not into wars. We are in no wars. We're not into wars. Oh, we don't have troops in Ukraine. We don't have troops in Israel. We're protecting shipping lanes like we always have. Fuck off.
In wars now? You look at the Middle East.
Can I change his voice to Ficus? No, I'm not going to make him more likable. Chat room. Thank you.
Look at what happened in Ukraine. That would have never happened. These things would have never happened. Inflation.
Right. Nobody would have had a chance to fight back.
Would have never happened.
Right, because inflation was a factor of us rebuilding the economy, and it never would have happened under you. It would have kept crashing.
Attack on Israel would never happen. The attack on Ukraine would never have. All these things would never have happened.
Yeah. Just take my word for it. Like, you know, all those, like leaving Afghanistan, that never would have happened. All those monthly bombings from Gaza into Israel, those wouldn't have happened during my presidency the way they did. If Biden had been president while I was president, it would have been way worse than what Biden goes to all the dignified transfers of dead soldiers, no matter what happened. I blew that off after the first 3 months.
Millions of people would be alive right now. Millions of people. Cities wouldn't be decimated, knocked down. You look at Ukraine with those towers, those gorgeous towers.
Yeah, the Twin Towers in Ukraine. Remember those?
Ancient towers are all...
The ancient towers of Ukraine. I'm sorry, what? What?
of people would be alive right now. Millions of people. Cities wouldn't be decimated, knocked down. You look at Ukraine with those towers, those gorgeous towers, ancient towers. They're all dead, gone.
What? Yes, someone killed the towers. It was Colonel Mustard in the architectural firm with a decision to not build towers. The towers are dead. Yes, hashtag rip towers. They've gone to that great pile of rubble in the sky with every building in Portland.
Can never be rebuilt. So many.
No, nothing could. No Soviet era apartment buildings could be rebuilt with modern architecture. We don't even know how to do that anymore.
Millions of. I think the numbers are much bigger than what you're
He almost said billions of people.
hearing. They knocked down an apartment house. These are big buildings, too. It's shocking how big they are. And they say 2 people were injured. No, people were killed. A lot of people were killed.
You do realize they evacuated those areas for a long time before even the structures were hit. Like, the entire town has been evacuated. There's like firefights on the street every fucking day. Nobody lives there except like the kind of holdouts that vote for you in Florida who are like, what hurricane? I'm standing in the wind, man. I'm gonna make it.
The numbers are much bigger than you hear.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you think the Russians have lost 380,000 people, and that's nothing.
It should have never happened. Most of the stuff, almost all of it. I can't think of anything that would have happened. We would have stopped all of it, and we did. And we had no inflation. Now you have inflation that's so bad, the worst, probably the worst we've ever had. China
No, it really isn't.
is threatening Taiwan. That'll be.
No, they aren't. We just found out that they're purging their military because there's so much graft that their missiles were filled with water instead of fuel. Set back their plans to attack Taiwan by about a decade.
Next, Iran is inches away from a nuclear bomb.
Inches? I thought it was days, but I don't know. Whatever your measurement is,
When I was with Iran, they were broke.
You were with Iran? Really? You dated them? Well, that explains why they were broke. Sure. You must have borrowed all their money, or
They were broke. I wouldn't let anybody buy oil. I said,
South Korea gave them a special waiver. That's where the $6 billion that was going to be exchanged for the hostages came from. It's in a South Korean bank account. It still is because it was never released because of the attack by Hamas in Gaza. We got our hostages, but we didn't give them the $6 billion. That $6 billion is from oil sales from Iran to South Korea during the Trump administration. Fuck off.
look, I want to be good to them. I want to be nice. They can't have a nuclear weapon. They're, I guess, 31 days away from having a nuclear weapon.
Well, it's all right. That's so there's it's been what, over a week, and they've only moved one day. I guess that's good. Are we folding time backwards?
Becomes a much different negotiation.
It totally does. Much different. Yeah.
Much tougher negotiation.
Oh, totally.
And it's so sad. This would have never happened. They would have had to deal with me within 1 week after the election.
Why didn't they? What about the deal would have been killed by the Biden administration? What deal would you have made with them? Why didn't you continue to make the? If it's good for America, why the fuck did you give up after the election? You were still president for a couple months. So let me get this straight. You orchestrated January 6th instead of stopping the biggest nuclear threat to the U.S. and Israel in the Middle East. That was you were so just fuck this place that after you lost the election, you're like, shit, I don't care if they do blow him to smithereens. He was, what? Why does he think this is a defense?
But that's the way it goes.
It is. That's just the way it is. Boodle-da, boodle-da, boodle-da. Some Trump things will never change. Doodle-da, doodle-da. All right.
Did great in that election. We got millions and millions more votes in that election than we did in 2016. Millions.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people vote when you allow them to vote by mail or vote early. When you give them every possible opportunity to vote, people will show up. But then you try to choke off voting for people, and it's amazing how that number drops.
We did much better than we did in 2016. I was told by the great John McLaughlin, who's around here someplace. I said, "Is John?"
And again, John McLaughlin, the pollster, right, is supposedly following him everywhere.
John McLaughlin here? John McLaughlin, the great pollster, who's fantastic.
He's fantastic because he's always wrong, but he's wrong in my direction. So,
and other pollsters said that there's no way if you get 63 million votes, the same as we got in 2016, there's no way you could be beat. And we beat it by millions. We got the most votes of any sitting president in history. And they say you lost by a whisker, just by a little
no, you lost by a lot. Millions of votes. Millions.
bit.
Tens of thousands in multiple swing states.
These people. But you know what? This will be the biggest event in the history of our country. We have to win this, but this will be much bigger than if we did it the more traditional way.
Which is what? You sitting at home and telling people to vote for you?
And I think we're going to do it. I've never seen spirit like this.
Yeah, spirit. I mean, it's a small room, but, this is the kind of spirit that you hear when you're in a room this size.
We didn't have this spirit in 2020 or 2016, and we had a lot of spirit. We had more spirit than anyone's ever seen. But
Jesus Christ. Say spirit again, motherfucker. Say spirit again. You can't excuse a fucking empty hall with fucking spirit. You're in a Ramada Inn, fucking spirit. You'll be flying Spirit Airlines before too long. Say spirit again.
it's not like it is now, including Iowa. You watch. You got to get out and vote. You got to get out and vote. And if you do, you'll see numbers as big as the numbers are being projected. Until you'll see numbers that are much bigger than that. For instance, Nikki Haley, give me a break. I know her well. I will never run against our president, she said. I will never, ever. He is a great president. I will not run. This went on for like 2 years. Then one day she's making a speech. I said, oh, that's nice. Ladies and gentlemen, I've decided to run. What's going on? What's wrong? And DeSantis was...
What's wrong? What's wrong? Why? How dare she? Who's this bitch think she is?
Worse, because he was dead until I endorsed him, and then he went up like a rocket ship.
Oh, this bullshit again. By the way, so we have you to thank for DeSantis having a career. So why should we trust you with anybody else you put? Fucking Matt Whitaker's a fucking lunatic. Everybody you put in positions of power are losers and are known for their disloyalty, certainly to the country.
And he won, and then I helped him get through the general election. And, you know, he was so far down in the...
How far down was he?
Primary that it was the other guy was measuring carpets in the State House.
Drapes, measuring the drapes. You don't change the fucking carpet. The term is measuring the drapes, dickhead.
Actually sent people, please measure my bedroom. I want to put a brand new carpet there.
Please measure my bedroom. I want to put a brand new carpet there.
And then I endorse this guy, and, you know, to me it's a bad seed when something like that happens.
It's a bad seed. You mean a bad sign?
It's a bad seed.
It's a bad sign?
So I got him in, and he went up like a rocket ship. One press of a little button, you know, with the button. Now, truth is much better. We all know that. But there was no truth then. Right now, we have truth, which is the best, right? But
he means Truth Social, and he's like one press of the button of tweeting something, but he just left out all the actual...
One press of a button, and all of a sudden, that election was over. He got the nomination. Then we got him past a very tough guy. They said he was going to be president someday. It turned out to be a crackhead, but these are minor details. But we got him past that guy. That guy, him and Stacey Abrams, they were the two hottest male and female politicians in the country. And in his case, he lost. I mean, and Ron didn't think he could beat him, and nobody did except me. I did 3 rallies.
Tears in his eyes, I guess.
For Ron, we had thousands and thousands. These are massive rallies.
Oh, they're huge. Not like this shit in Iowa. I mean, in Florida, we got real people.
Thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah, instead of dozens and dozens, which, you know, is fine.
And I said, you're going to win. Oh, I don't know. And he won. Then 4 years later, they say, will you run?
Were you massaging his shoulders when you said this? I gotta tell you, this story gets more elaborate every time he tells it, and it's like I'm beginning like I picture him like rubbing Ron DeSantis's feet while Ron weeps into a whiskey.
against the president. He says, I have no comment. I said, no comment. You know what no comment? See those beautiful little children? They know what it means. That means he's going to run, right? Yep.
Those beautiful little children over there? Fuck that.
She's like 4 years old. She's saying, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I know. I'm politically savvy. I'm aware, okay? Obviously. That's what that means. You can't just let some asshole like that, I know exactly what it means when someone refuses to recuse themselves from elections. It sounds like bull bananas to me.
And my people say, sir, don't
say sir.
attack him so violently. He's a Republican. I said, I don't care if he's a Republican or not. And he's
No, a Republican, not whether he's a republic or not.
taking a big fall, that guy. He's not going to do too well. And she's not going to do well either. But we have tremendous numbers. And I think if everybody goes in, and remember when you're doing this, you're doing this for November, because we got to beat this guy, this fool that's destroying our country.
If you vote in the caucus, please vote again in the general. I know that's weird, but, I'm just tired. I'm still campaigning for November. I'm just using this as an excuse.
Donald Trump is a dictator. Can you imagine? Donald Trump is a dictator. I'm a dictator. All I want to do is have a great country.
Yeah, a great country where we, anybody who's here illegally or looks like it or sounds or smells like it or has a diet that looks illegal, somebody eating near a taco truck, anybody like that, you just scoop them all up, deport first, ask questions later.
I don't want to be ripped off with trade deals. I don't want these countries just ripping us. And boy, we had it stopped. We did USMCA. We did the greatest trade deals ever. But all I want to do is have a great country.
That's all I want. And if I have to round people up and kill them to do it, you guys understand, right?
Taxes. We did the best tax deal ever, bigger than the Reagan tax deal.
Tax cuts, you mean?
We just want to have a great country. He says I'm a dictator. It's so insulting. Actually, it's insulting. But he's a threat. He's a threat he doesn't even know what the word means. He's a threat to democracy. Define democracy, Joe. That's not a fair question.
Is that just now going to be his way of bailing himself out of every lost fucking thought? That's what it is, right? He doesn't even know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying, but he doesn't know what I'm saying. Like he'd go, I don't know what he means.
No, the guy can't find steps to a platform. He makes his speech. He can never find the damn steps. Look, the steps.
Yeah, the steps. Now, his stages are a lot bigger and nicer than mine, but,
Or you jump out the front if you have to. You can't do that. You have to leave. When you make a speech, his speeches last about 3 minutes. You know why? Because he runs out of fuel.
What the fuck was that? What? Hold on. What the fuck is the injection? What the shit? Wait a minute. Back the fuck up. Watch this. What's this shit? Is that because Trump's getting B shots and he doesn't like...
You can't do that. You have to leave. When you make a speech, his speeches last about 3 minutes. You know why? Because he runs out of fuel.
Right. What the fuck is that? Yeah. So Joe Biden at 81 years old is injecting drugs now. That's right. Yeah.
He runs out of fuel. The fuel doesn't last very long. So you notice the speeches, they start off very energetic. He's a threat to democracy. By the end, he's like, I got to get off. This is not the man we should have for our president, okay?
No, we need somebody who can just kind of ramble at the same putt-putt level, talking shit and wandering through a sea of word salad and airing his grievances like every day is Festivus. That's what we need.
Our military has gone woke, our leaders, and I have to say...
Which means gay. And, I gotta be honest, if you're ISIS, the scariest thing in the world is being killed by a guy in a dress who's got the freedom to marry who he wants. I get it.
It's but we can't have it. We can't allow it.
Because look, I defeated ISIS.
Did you? You mean the people who just attacked Iran and who did the suicide bombing in Afghanistan when we were leaving? And those people, you just defeated ISIS? The ones that are still in Syria as well?
Everybody said you
and Iraq
couldn't do it. It would take 4 or 5 years, right?
Well, if you care about civilian deaths, yeah, that's what drags it out. That's always the hard part, you know. But if you don't care about civilian deaths, probably get it done in like 4 weeks.
Defeated ISIS, took out al-Baghdadi, the founder of ISIS. I kept saying, why don't they ever get the guy with the fan behind, right? You saw that picture of the fan, like for 15 years, there's a fan. I said,
no, you looked at footage that a lot of us haven't seen.
Why can't they get him? He's the founder. I got him. We took him out. Took out plenty of others, too. Mm-hmm. And we had the safest border in our history, by the way.
Thanks, COVID.
You know, I was telling a group before I was speaking.
Yes, you're saying this to other people, and basically the same speech.
A great group of young Republicans, and we surprised them. They had no idea. About 150 young Republicans at a hotel.
You surprised them, did you? Were they sleeping, or?
And they had no idea I was coming. I said, but you know.
Well, you're supposed to tap them on the top of the head, I think.
What we've done and what we have a chance to make this country so great. But this is our final.
So great? I don't know. Maybe that's the teen version. Instead of make America great again, you guys are going to help us make this country so fucking great. It's going to be Masfa.
Chance. We're not going to have another shot at it because I even worry about, it's 10 months before the election. I even worry about the 10 months because he has done such damage to this country. And, what can he do in 10 months? You might end up in World War III. You could end up in World War.
Well, we're on the brink of the edge of in the tubes of hell at the edge of in the middle of World War. If you think about it, we're already in World War III.
With this character. And then he gets up and talks like we're the devil, all of us. I mean, basically, it's MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. He doesn't even know what. If I said define MAGA, he would have no idea. It's called Make America Great Again. That's all it is. It's nothing sinister.
Yeah. Why are people, just because I've turned it into something sinister, just because I made hats with it on there, doesn't he understand that Branch Davidians are just followers of the new David? And David Koresh is God's messenger. I mean, if he wants to fuck a couple of 12-year-olds, that's just what God wants. It's like they don't even know what the Bible is. Don't they understand where this stuff comes from? It comes from the Bible, okay?
It's so sad.
It is. It's sad.
So sad. I memean, these people are more dangerous than the so-called enemy. China, if you're smart, you can handle China. If you're smart, you can handle Russia.
Yeah, or you handle them by letting them collapse instead of propping them up like you did.
I ended the Russian pipeline. He approves it. Then he says, I was soft on Russia. I was the toughest on Russia, and Putin liked me. I got along.
By the way, he was trying to stop the pipeline to temporarily choke off the German industrial base so that they would be on their heels when the attack happened. Just for the record.
It's nice to get along with people that have nuclear weapons. Don't you think it's really nice if you think about it? But I was tough on Russia with the sanctions and everything. But more importantly, he's building the biggest project they've ever done, the pipeline going through Europe into Germany. I got angry at Germany. I said, you give it.
Also, doesn't go through Europe to Germany. It goes through the ocean.
Paying them all the money. We're protecting you with NATO, and you're paying them billions of dollars a month for energy. And then we have to protect you from the people you're giving the billions of dollars to. Does this make sense? So we had a lot of fun with those countries because they've been ripping us off for a long time.
Yeah, fuck Germany. I agree. Fucking German car, Volkswagen, get out of here.
But I'm the only candidate in this race who
it has a full diaper?
Is up to the task of saving America. And I'm the only candidate that will say with great, I can say it from any standpoint you want, as
I clearly would work. I mean, if you can just say whatever you're going to say clearly, it would be helpful.
Definitive as you want to make it. We will not have World War III with me as your president. And we're going to do it through strength. We're going to do it through strength. Thank you.
But if it happens before you get in, what can you promise we won't have World War IV? I'm just saying.
We're going to do it through strength.
Fucking strength, am I right? Do it through strength. How strong do I have to be? I mean, can you believe my legs hold up my belly? You don't know strength. Here I am talking to a bunch of dickheads in Iowa. Newton, Iowa. Fucking named after some fig cookie. What a bunch of shit. Where am I?
You know, you can do things, you don't even have to go there. You can do things with telephones that are quite effective if you know
I've heard that. Yeah.
how to use a telephone properly.
Yeah, how do you use a telephone? Oh, how do you use a video phone properly? Because I hear you're an expert. You can't talk about that because you have a current litigation. I understand.
If you know how to speak, that are very effective. Sometimes it's better because it's easier to talk over a phone than to tell some of the things I say to these guys face to face. It's
Oh, you mean if you're a coward? I see. I thought you were talking about like how just. I thought you were forming words and sentences, but you're just talking about if you're a chicken shit, it's easier to say it from the Oval Office over a phone. But if you meet them face to face and they call you out, you back down because you're a fucking chicken shit. Ah, okay, good.
easier for me to just say, you know, you son of a. I was telling yesterday at one of the big meetings. I love these.
One of the big meetings.
You know, we go to different corners of your state.
Yeah, this is what I would call this a corner.
And we meet with such great people.
Yeah, not a lot of them.
And then we're going to do a rally sometime in the I guess in the summer, a big
Yeah, huge. Not like this.
one. We're going to pick a big beautiful site, maybe the State Fair or something, but we're going to do a big rally.
Yeah, it'll be you and Ted Nugent. And yeah.
But I have such fun with it.
And a Smashing Pumpkins cover band.
But, you know, I tell them that some of the deals we made were so incredible. For instance, Mexico, they supplied us with 28,000 soldiers. They supplied us with, we said, remain in Mexico. You think that's easy? And this guy gave it up. Remain in Mexico. They were remaining in our country. In other words, they come in, we leave them in. I said, no, I don't want them in our country until they get approved because they're from mental institutions.
Yeah, they're crazy people. They've always been this way. All during his presidency, they were all crazy people coming in. And, you know, you tell a crazy person to wait, stand over there and wait. They always do.
Drug dealers, they're criminals from jails.
And they're all those things all at once. I'm just saying, I don't know what it is about South American drug dealing criminal murderers, but even the crazy ones are capable of like long distance treks and organized thought. It's very impressive. No wonder they're taking our jobs.
We have people coming into our country now that we've never allowed people like this into our country, and we don't do anything about it.
Why did, I guess, is Customs and Border Patrol committing treason then? Why?
But Mexico said, no, we're not going to give you soldiers. I said, yes, you are. Yes, you are. No, sir, we will not do that. We will.
No, sir, we will not do that. We all have China voice that you make up because we all foreign people talk like this. This is how we know, no, sir.
Not do it. And I like the president of Mexico a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he talks like a Chinaman, but I don't understand. Yeah, you know, no, don't understand what you do. This, you know, this, I don't know why that is. I'm like, shouldn't you have a Mexican accent? I'm like, and then he says, yeah, but you don't do a Mexican accent, you bigot. And then I go, oh, yeah, I'm talking to myself in a fucking mirror.
I think he's great. He's a socialist. But it can't have everything, right? Tell those kids, can't get everything. But he and I have a
tell those kids you can't get everything. You're probably going to stay poor in Iowa, you fucking losers.
Great relationship. But I said, listen, you have to do it.
What was his name again?
Anyway, he sent his representative.
Anyway, what was his name again? What was that guy's name?
Some guy to see me in Washington, and I was meeting with him. And I had from the State Department a woman who handled Mexico, very nice woman, but not a good negotiator, frankly. She said, sir, I've been
what's her name?
Trying to get this for 21 years. They'll never do it. I said,
you've been trying to get 28,000 troops for 21 years to guard the building of a slat fence that's only just now being put up.
Well, I'm going to get it. I asked Tom.
He's talking about remain in Mexico still. No. And again, there's no permanent version of this.
I'm home and I asked a couple of the top people.
Yeah, top men. You know, the guys who are in charge of the Ark of the Covenant.
Really great people in Border Patrol. We have phenomenal people in ICE and Border Patrol. They're not appreciated like they should be. They're incredible. Brad.
Yeah, Brad, that guy. That's the name to remember.
We have
Brad Jr., Bradley, and the Bradster.
Yeah. Brandon Judd is fantastic. I know so many of those guys. They're so fantastic. They want to do their job. You know, it's funny. It'd be a lot easier just to do what they do. Just let them come in. They're not doing anything. They're doing paperwork now. They have them sitting, and people are just flowing in by the millions. They have.
Why are they doing paperwork if they're just letting people flow in? What paperwork is necessary?
Have now a caravan. I came up with that name. They won't say that, by the way. The fake news is back there. You got a lot of fake news back there. That's a lot of fake news. But
it's your campaign fucking cameras.
But the caravan, we have a caravan, the biggest one we've ever seen. Thousands and thousands of people just pouring right into our country. It is so sick and so sad. What's happening to our country is so sad. But I said to
yeah, I mean, I honest to God, I had to learn Spanish just to cross the street. Like I literally overnight, the street signs have changed. It's absurd. And the weird thing is they're changing it for Brazilians that speak Portuguese, and the Islamic jihadists are coming over here going, I do not speak Spanish. You know, but they do it, I'm sorry, they say it in a Chinese-ish 1970s accent. So
the gentleman comes up and great
so does he say, sir?
representative. I said, we need 28,000 soldiers for our border. No, I'm not going to do that, sir. And I said, you are you 100%? No, I'm not. He was confused because I kept telling him he was going to do it.
And then he said no, and you said yeah, and you said no.
Nobody had ever told him that before. He said, no, we won't do that, sir. I have no authorization to do that. I said, then you'll get it quickly, but you're going to do it 100%. He said, no, I'm not going to do it, sir. I said, you're going to do it. And also, I want it to be remain in Mexico. In other words, we want a policy called remain in Mexico, not remain in the United States, and then nothing ever happens. And then we want another one, catch and release in Mexico. You know, we catch and release criminals, and we have them released into the United States.
I see. So anybody who's caught committing a crime in the United States, and American citizens, we just dump them into Mexico? What a sweet fucking deal. Gee, I wonder where other countries got the idea of dumping their criminals into our country. Apparently, that's what you were thinking about doing or saying you were going to do?
And come back for your court case in 4 years. And only very, very stupid people come back because there is no court.
Or the ones that want to be citizens.
Court case, you know, there's no court case. So it's catch and release in Mexico and another 7 or 8 items that are impossible to get. So this guy keeps saying, no, we will not do that. We will not do that. And the person from the State Department, she was really good, but she said, sir, they're just not going to do it. I said, 100% they're going to do it.
Thanks to COVID.
So at the end, I said, here's why you're going to do it. Because I have papers right in front of me and I'm signing. It was a Friday evening, late, like 4 o'clock, 4:30.
Yeah, Friday evening, 4:30 on a Friday evening. Yeah, practically bedtime.
Biden was sleeping. He was younger then. Biden was at his home in Delaware or wherever they may be, sleeping on top of the boxes that he shouldn't have taken out, right? See, I had the Presidential Records Act. I was allowed to take them out. He wasn't. He was not allowed to take the boxes out, but he...
Yeah, no, the Presidential Records Act was actually against Nixon trying to take things that were evidence of his crimes out of the place and that he didn't have the right to take everything. It was the exact opposite of what you think it means. Oh, well,
sleeps on top. You know, he had his Corvette parked on top of him, right?
Right. Well, it's certainly hard to steal if you have a fucking, whatever, 6,500 pound car on top.
He thinks the Corvette was such a great car. I wonder who gave him the Corvette, which country gave him the Corvette, right?
He bought it. He's the original owner. He bought it when he was, he bought it in the 60s. Literally, this is a known thing. It has a title. That is one of the things as president you could have even looked up.
Right.
It's literally he's had it for decades.
But I said to him, no, you're going to do it because on Monday morning at 7 o'clock, I'm signing it right now. We're going to put a 25% tariff on every single thing that Mexico sends into this country.
And that will destroy the Texas economy in an afternoon.
Including all the cars that you stole out. You know, they stole about 32% of our... Did you know that? They stole 32% over the years.
Did they steal it? Jesus Christ. Mexicans just stealing 32% of the cars in America? Man, I mean, I saw episodes of Chips where, you know, people who were clearly supposed to be Hispanic were stealing hubcaps and the like, but I had no idea it was this bad.
Of our car manufacturing business. And then the unions, the people in the unions are voting for me. but you can't get the heads of, they're so wedded to the Democrats. I don't know. They have wonderful dinners together or something. It's so crazy.
You don't have wonderful dinners? I thought you were known for your wonderful dinners. Maybe it's just the food is shit. Is that what it is? Just the food at Mar-a-Lago is just shit, I guess. Even that, like, grease monkeys, like former auto mechanics aren't interested? Christ. You can still tell the chef this is low-grade dog food.
But they stole from the United Auto Workers about 32% of our car making. So they're a massive car manufacturer. They send the cars in. So I said on...
Yeah, American cars. They're American companies. American companies make the cars in Mexico or assemble parts of them over there. Sell them in the United States because they're American cars.
Monday morning, 7 o'clock, you have a 25% tariff on every single thing that you produce coming into this country, which is massive. That's far more than building the wall. And we're talking about, remember Mexico's going to pay for it. Mexico paid for much more than that. There was no legal mechanism to get that. But there is a legal mechanism for them to put their soldiers all over the place and all these other things, which is
I see. It was going to build a wall of Mexican soldiers.
Actually much more money. So I said, it's going to be signed. I'm signing it now. At 7 o'clock, you pay 25% tariff or tax. You could call it whatever you want. Very similar.
Oy.
And that takes place 7 o'clock on Monday morning. And you can call your president and tell him or not. Sir, may I be dismissed for just a short while? I would like to make that call. He comes back like at about 4 minutes. Sir, we would be proud to give you 28,000 soldiers. It would be a great honor.
And they never did, but he heard what he wanted to hear, and then he fucked off and went golfing
And
again.
we would be proud to have remain in Mexico. We would be proud. We would love to have. Do you ever see Tijuana? Tijuana had like 200,000 people in Tijuana. And nothing on the other side of the wall, because as I built the wall, it became very safe. That wall was great.
The other side of the wall in Tijuana is fucking San Diego.
Wouldn't have been my design choice, but that's what the Border Patrol
Yeah, it's not my fault it sucks. That's what they wanted.
They wanted steel. They wanted rail so you could see through. I wanted to put beautiful concrete plank. Very nice. But they didn't want that because ideally you want to be able to see through. But
Yeah, you want to be able to see through it so that the drug dealers can signal it to each other whether there's anybody there, and their Confederates inside the United States can see the bales of drugs coming, being catapulted over, so they can catch them and put them right in the truck. You don't want to make them. What do you want to have to buy a radio?
But they also need it because they have acids that can melt concrete. You believe this?
Oh, really? They have what? The Mexicans have acids that I bet it's what do they just eat a bunch of like it's the green sauce, isn't it? And they just walk right up to the fucking planks and burn a hole right in the fucking right through it. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is all gibberish, and please understand that my jokes are based on the concept that I refuse to take this dickhead seriously. Enjoy.
These guys have everything. And
yeah, they got acid eating concrete and concrete eating acid, whatever.
steel is much tougher for them. So they wanted steel, they wanted concrete inside,
Yeah, because acid's never eaten through steel.
5,000-pound concrete inside, and then they wanted rebar. I said, I understand, it's tough. You have all these different substances you have to go through. You could cut the steel, but then you can't cut the concrete.
Yeah, you kind of can.
And we built them the wall. The panel on top is a no-climb panel. It's a stop climb.
Yeah, well, it works great. And it doesn't, and the weird thing about it doesn't give them exactly a toehold where they'd need one.
In other words, I didn't like it. I said, I don't like the panel on top visually. They said, so
What the fuck do you want, spikes?
that's an anti-climb provision. That makes it very hard for them to climb over the top. I said, okay, well, we'll put it in. I did everything they wanted, and we built. And wherever we had the wall, it just stopped. But then as you build the wall, it goes like this. They go like water. So
Jesus Christ. You build the wall and they go like this, like water, meaning they just go around the edges. Right. Because you built an access road to build the fucking wall on the Mexican side. So now area that people wouldn't or couldn't traverse, they can now drive all the way to the end of the fucking wall, get out, and walk around it because it's on private or Navajo land.
it kept going further, and we ended up building a tremendous amount. But and then we were going to put up. This is when I got wise to them. I couldn't believe it because I thought it was just political talk. We built over 500 miles of wall, and I ordered 200 more miles because as you build it, it gets longer. They go around it.
So it doesn't solve it, I guess. So maybe a political or economic solution might be part of the. Nah, fucking. What am I talking about?
And when they came in after the terrible, terrible tragedy of that election,
Oh, it was a tragedy. For you, for us, it was pretty hilarious.
It was a tragedy.
It's the only tragedy I've ever danced through. I have to say.
Look what's happened. So many people are dead now that wouldn't be dead.
Well, I mean, you could say that of your entire presidency. I mean, we lost 1 million people to COVID.
But you look at that tragedy. But
oh yeah, look at it.
So many. What's happened is. We had all of this wall sitting there, very expensive, sitting on the ground, ready to be flipped up.
Just flipped. It was laying there. All they had to do was tilt it up, and it locked into place, like fucking Legos. And then what happened?
It could have been done in a 3-week period.
Oh, well, what? Right after the election? But you're too busy making the Iran deal, so that ate up. You were on the phone all the time with Iran, going, "Hey, I'm still fucking president. I can still do stuff." What do you mean? The next president can just dump any deal I make? Where'd you hear that? Oh, that's what I did. Hello? Shit. Get the guy with the wall thing on the phone. Can we get some Amish people down there to push that fucking thing? Can we have a wall raising?
They say, we don't want to do it. I said, that's strange. That means they actually were serious that they want to have open borders. That's the first time I really believed it. And now you see the result. Millions and millions of people. Last quarter, 300,000. That's larger than probably almost all of your cities in your state. 300,000 people over actually a 2-month period, less. A 2-month period, 300,000 people poured into our country. And they're
brutal.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows anything. I don't know anything. Do you know anything? I don't know anything about this.
People never even heard of the countries from where they came all over.
No, I've never heard. Haiti? What is that? Guatemala? But I think they're just making these words up.
Africa.
Oh my God. They're coming from the country of Africa? Well, why didn't you say so? Call the president of Africa. Get him on the phone right now. Go watch it, buddy. No, sir, we will not put a wall around Africa. Yes, you will.
All over Asia. They come from different parts of Europe.
Which parts? The bad parts, probably.
Come from the Middle East. A lot of people coming from the Middle East.
The middle of the Middle East, or like the outer edges? Are they in the far west of the Middle East? I'm curious about what those folks are like.
And a lot of these people are young, strong men.
Sweaty, oiled up, many of them. Some of them carrying gardening implements and wearing hot shorts. It's terrible. I spend a lot of time on the internet checking them out, for threats.
Military age. Isn't that shocking?
It's also prime manual labor working age as well. I would say prime roofing age, wouldn't you say?
27,000 people, the last report, 27,000 people coming in from China.
Oh, my God, not China.
Between the ages of 20 and 25.
Oh, my God. That's prime college age. Shit.
That sounds a little suspicious.
Yeah, doesn't it? Because it's also prime Marian age. I'm starting to think they don't have enough women over there.
What they're doing, what this guy has done to this country, you have no idea. It's just horrible. And then he says that I'm.
Well, I mean, I would have an idea if you could actually tell me, but you're talking out of your ass.
Bad for democracy. He's bad for democracy for another reason.
Yeah, I'm not bad for democracy. You're bad for democracy. No, you're bad for democracy.
He's incompetent.
Yeah, he's incompetent at being corrupt. He's so bad at being corrupt, he's actually doing good. Can you believe this? I would have had so many more crimes done in 2 weeks.
When you're incompetent, you're bad for democracy. You're very bad for democracy.
Right. Like how you handled COVID, or how you handled the Chinese trade deal, or...
Since 2016, you and I have been in this battle side by side, and it's been a lot of the same.
Except when I was golfing, obviously. Then, you weren't by my side during that part.
People, I recognize the faces so well.
Yes, even though I've never been here before, and I don't plan on coming back.
taking on the entire
I mean, I recognize the people I brought with me, but just barely, because this is turning to mush. I don't know where I am.
corrupt system in Washington like no one has ever done before. You know, this movement that we're all a part of very
Oh, yeah, the movement. Yeah, that movement.
proudly. It's your movement more than mine. But this movement is the biggest movement in the history of our country by far.
Jesus Christ. Say movement again, motherfucker. Say movement again. Bowel movement? Fuck's wrong with you? Movement. It's a campaign, and you're losing. Shut the fuck up.
You know, you look at a politician, and every once in a while they'll go to Iowa, they'll go to New Hampshire. By the way, I kept you first in the nation. But
Not you, Newton, in particular, the state. But yeah, that's because you do caucuses.
and they're the first primary, and I kept you both. I kept them too.
You're first and they're first. I have two first. That's the best. I could tell two people they're number one. It's like my second and third wives.
Democrats were going to change them.
I was telling both of them they were number one at the same time at one point. You know, so it's funny that way.
And they did. Look
And like my first wife and my second wife as well.
what they did. They
Yeah.
gone from Iowa and New Hampshire. Now they made a mess of it, in a total mess. And you know, there's a great tradition to Iowa and New Hampshire. It's a beautiful tradition for for many years. And they want to change everything. They want to change the name of George Washington, take him off the schools. Let's not use his name, George Washington. When they start taking George Washington's name down, you know we got problems, right?
Yeah, they aren't. There's, honest to God, look, the only bills that have come out of the Biden administration or the Democrats in Congress about changing the names of places is taking on the name of Confederate generals, taking the names of traitors to the country off of our military bases. That's what we've done. Notice he doesn't get mad. You know, he doesn't bring up like, they took down Robert E. Lee. That's a shame. I'm not in front of the right crowd for that.
I used to say, you know,
If I was in Georgia right now, Marjorie Taylor Greene would bring it up. Boy, oh boy.
someday
She's got big shoulders. Oh my God. She bench pressed me once, and it was not pretty. It was like she was wrestling silly putty.
if they keep going like this, they'll be taking George Washington's name. But I never believed it. But guess what? It's coming down off some schools. We're taking
Some schools in local areas, because local schools are named by the local groups.
the name George Washington High School. We're going to get rid of it, put somebody else up. It's disgraceful. But what we've done is
What were you doing? What were you talking about? You lost. Where was I? Oh yeah,
really amazing. And
it is.
we're going to have, I'm going to say we're going to win for the third time. And I just don't want the results of the second. I don't want the results because the
You mean losing? You don't want to lose again? I got bad news for you. You're going to, but
results of the second are just so bad. They're so embarrassing. We're laughed at all over the world. We're laughed at. We're laughed at all over the world. They laugh at us. You know.
well, I'll totally cop to that. I'm just here out west, laughing heartily at you, and it's a good time. I'm
I
enjoying
know
it.
all these leaders. The press goes crazy when I say it because they say that's not nice. They say like President Xi of China, strong.
He's not strong. He's a puffy fucking mess. He won't even. He'll jail people for comparing him to Winnie the fucking Pooh.
Smart, tough.
No, he's an idiot. He's genuinely stupid. They had to do a propaganda program in China to make people think he was well read by putting books out that went, this is part of Xi's reading list. Shit that motherfucker has never read.
No games. We will start negotiation immediately.
Sorry, fact check on which part? How long is he going to ramble? We don't know. Oh, they haven't taken Washington down. Yeah, no. Well, again, like I think it was Jefferson in a couple of places. It doesn't matter. He's talking out of his ass. Like, chat room, I love you guys. Fear not. I hear you. I'm with you. Good Lord.
I say,
Oh, hold on. Bicycle Mike, happy birthday. Happy 65th. Right on. Thanks for spending a little bit of it with us. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Bicycle Mike. Happy birthday to you at 65.
let's loosen up a little bit, you know. But can you imagine when he sees
I get worried when he loosens up.
Biden walk in. Hi. And don't forget, I took in $400 billion from China. I gave you $28 billion for your farmers, right? Oh, that guy knows he's a farmer.
He's a farmer. I can tell he's wearing overalls. He's got a piece of hay coming out of his mouth. And he's a front row Joe.
He's a farmer. She's involved with farms, huh?
Yes, he's a farmer's daughter. Is that what you're going to say? This little, like, Ivanka wannabe that's standing right here. She's involved with farms. Like, the first time I never did this, I came down to Iowa and our bus broke down. And we pulled over the side of the road and there's no hotels around. So we went up to the house. It was a great farm, big, beautiful farm, big farm. And I knocked on the door. I said, let me knock on the door. I gave him $28 billion. Said, our van's broken down. I don't know if you vote for me. You can't say. Otherwise, it's a contribution in kind. I'm kidding. I know you're voting for me. I saw the signs on the lawn. We need to spend the night here. And then in the morning, they're going to come and send somebody for us. And it's just me and my two buddies and whatever. Okay. And the farmer said, two of you can sleep in the house. One of you has to sleep in the barn. And I said, where does your daughter sleep? And so I was in the barn all night, and
no, nobody else. You think Biden would give you 28? He wouldn't even know what the hell. He actually is very anti-farm, if you want to know the truth. But
he's anti-farm. I do want to know the truth. Don't you? Hey, everybody, come here. Don't you want to know the truth? I want to know the truth. Who doesn't want to know the truth? It's the truth. Tell me how Joe Biden is anti-farm.
We don't have to worry about him too much here because we beat him badly last time. You know,
but that doesn't make any difference. He's the fucking president. They have to worry about it. They're the farmers. If you lose to this motherfucker like you did last time, they're in deep shit because apparently this guy is anti-farm. Now explain to them how anti-farm he is so that they can build, I guess, some sort of resistance plan. What are they going to do? Just blockages with tractors? What the fuck is he doing? Does he want them to take? He's going to try and get you guys to have like all electric computerized farming equipment and all this stuff, which you don't want. Nobody wants that. You want Rome. You want those big tractors making a lot of noise. The old ones, the old rickety red ones that if you tip over a little bit, they'd fall on you and crush your leg, and everybody wouldn't know you were missing until they went, where's Paw? And then they'd go out to the field and find you rotten. Yeah.
In the history of elections, nobody has ever won Florida, Ohio, and Iowa and lost the election except me. Okay? It was
Yeah, you're a special kind of loser. We get it.
a rigged election. Nobody has ever done it. In fact, if you win Florida and Ohio, it's over.
No, if it was 1986, maybe.
But when you add
They haven't been the major swing states forever. Ever since 2000, everybody was like, fuck this place. The Republicans are going to rig Florida, so let's just move someplace else.
Iowa, nobody's even come close. And I won all three in landslides. Florida in a landslide. I won Ohio in a landslide.
Yeah, you mean the state that Ron DeSantis runs, and then the state that elected Jim Jordan to congressional office, even though he looked the other way during a series of sexual assaults, and Iowa, which has fewer people in it than a suburb of Los Angeles.
And I won here in a landslide.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
But nobody's ever won that combination. And there are about 20 other, statistical nightmares that I could give you, like
Yeah, go for
the
it.
number of counties and the number of this, number of that.
Yeah, the number of this, that, but counties is important. Give us the number of counties, since districts have to have a certain number of people in them, but counties could literally be empty
Throughout the country.
Yeah, you can have a county with like Cook County or Clark County that have a lot of fucking people in it, and then you can have fucking butt knuckle County, Iowa, which has 3 people, and that pig that's still smarting from that trip to the farmer's house.
It's really disgraceful. Such
It is disgraceful how few people can be in some counties.
a bad thing happened. But
Oh, terrible.
together we stood up to the failed establishment. We stood up to the corrupt media, and we still are. We have to justify it. They say, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist because he mentioned that the 3 states that we just said.
Sorry.
He mentioned that those states that nobody ever went. That's a conspiracy there because they're so bad for our country.
Oh, so bad, so bad. And he means Iowa, Florida, and Ohio.
If they don't, they're all dead anyway. I mean, nobody's listening to them or reading them.
Yeah, they're as dead as the Twin Towers in Ukraine that were built in the 9th century.
When I came in 2015, because I actually started in 2015, I think they had a 96% approval rating, and now they have an approval
The press has never had a 96% approval rate.
rating that's lower than Congress. Can you believe that? They're in the low teens. No, they're
Well, you got to admit that since that time, we've added, beyond Fox, they've added Newsmax and RSBN and OAN. And so we're spreading the bullshit over a fine mist over everything. It just kind of goes on forever. It's shallow, but it's wide.
the fake news media. The fake news is in the low teens now. And actually, I'm very proud of it because
you're on all those channels?
we have to let the public know. For
Yeah.
years, nobody exposed them until I came along. Nobody exposed. Whoever talked about fake news, right? Look, they're even shaking their heads. You're right. Because a lot of them actually agree with us, but they can't write it. They're editors and the owners of those stupid owners that
Yeah, the stupid owners.
own that junk.
Yeah, they own that junk.
We stood up to the deep state, the globalists, the warmongers, the Wall Street special interests, open
All your old friends, you mean?
borders fanatics, the radical left.
Except for that part where you hired people who are undocumented to work at Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster and your Los Angeles country club. But anyways, go on. Sorry.
Achieve things that nobody ever thought would be possible to achieve. We did more in 4 years than any other president.
Well, certainly more Americans died during your time in office. That's true. I mean, you really pegged the needle on that one.
By far, more than most did. More than most did in
More than most.
8 years when they were in for 8 years.
No, not at all.
And with your vote in these caucuses, we're going to finish the job and get it done better than anybody's ever got it done before.
We're gonna get it done better than anybody's got it done before. Fuck.
going to turn this
I get caught in these corners because I say something and then I try to make it better than something and it just fucking doesn't. I fucking can't. Shit.
country around, and it's much tougher.
We got to turn this country around. We're headed towards full employment and rising wages and union growth, and the middle class is more secure, and consumer confidence is going up. The stock market's going on. We got to turn this country around back in the direction it was when I was in office.
It's
Jesus.
much tougher now because we have, thank you very much, Biden, we have about 15 million people in our country, because I believe that's the real number. The number will be 15 or 16 by the end of his term. That's more than you have in New York State. That's more than you have.
New York State has 20 to 22 million people in it.
Have in just about almost every state other than 2 or 3. And
No.
they came in, and people that should not be here. People that they didn't want. You know, if you do a poll and you look at jails throughout the world, not just Honduras and Guatemala and
No, yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, you might. That's fun if you got a weekend and that's your kink. You might want to fly down to Honduras or Guatemala and do a poll of whoever's left.
you know, Mexico, different places near us, around us, around.
Yeah. The Mexico, like North Mexico, which is what I call Canada,
Surrounding
and
us.
yeah, like Little Mexico, which is Puerto Rico and Cuba. You know, kind of.
If you look at polls and study a poll, don't worry about the phone. I don't mind. He's in a panic to get his phone off. Oh well.
No, it helps me know I'm done.
And I know exactly. I know the feel happens. The phone goes off and he's going crazy. That means he's a good person, but he still can't find his phone. So
Well, he's one of your supporters, obviously, so he's incapable of dealing with even the simplest technology.
but if you look,
And I have.
it's the numbers and the statistics are just so amazing. You
It's amazing.
look at what's going on, and
Yeah, what is
you
going
look
on?
at what they've done to damage our country.
Oh, yeah, the statistics of what they've done to damage our country. Yeah. Where would I find those figures?
It's not even believable.
No, well, I mean, maybe it is. Why would you say that? Maybe it is believable. Maybe It's just that we don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
That they can allow this to happen. When you see the scenes, it's not believable
Right. You're right. I don't believe it.
that
But
they can allow it to happen.
I don't know what you mean.
And you don't have to look at much. And the one good thing is the fake
Yeah, I'm glad we don't have to look at much. Can I look at something? Can you hit? Is there something I should look at? Because honest to God, what the fuck are you talking about?
news wasn't covering the invasion at all. And just like they barely covered Afghanistan. You know, Afghanistan came and
Barely.
went in like 2 days. They don't
Sorry, Afghanistan came and went in 2 days? We were there for 21 years, you dumb motherfucker. We were there your entire presidency. You ran on getting us out.
talk about it. You never see it on. It's the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
How so? I mean, we're not there anymore, are we?
Really a horrible.
I would think that the most embarrassing thing would be to run on getting us out of Afghanistan and then not do it the whole time you're in office. That would be embarrassing.
Horrible thing took place, and it was gone very quickly from the news.
Right, because we have bigger fish to fry and we're no longer in Afghanistan.
Other than some of the conservative news, they still covered a little bit, but I think it was the worst day. I think it also created a lot of problems, like Russia going in. I think when
Yeah, but if Putin thought it was a good idea to attack Ukraine because we got out of Afghanistan, then he's a fucking moron, because it's literally the reason why he's in trouble. If we were still in Afghanistan, they would have another pressure point to use to manipulate the Taliban or other terrorist groups inside there to draw attention to U.S. troops in Afghanistan and keep us bogged down and use up a bunch of our blood and treasure in that country some more while they're attacking Ukraine. But the fact that we got out, if he's like, oh, they're out of Afghanistan now, let's go get Ukraine. Didn't work out, did it? He's going to have 500,000 dead Russians by summer.
Putin looked at the incompetence of the job they did.
And thought, they think that's a wreck? Wait till they see what my invasion of Ukraine looks like.
Would have never happened with me. We were getting out also, but we were getting out with strength and with dignity.
And we were going to keep Bagram, we're going to get out but stay in.
And we were taking our equipment, and
We covered this morning. Like no, we weren't.
we wouldn't have had 13 dead soldiers, and we wouldn't have had
Still been there.
And we wouldn't have had 38 people that were obliterated with no arms and no legs. But together we fought long.
We lost people while he was president, somewhere in the order of I want to say it was over 80 in Afghanistan while he was president. He stopped going to the dignified transfers after the fourth one.
And hard to rescue the Republican Party from.
There were other service people left who died as well in other places, accidents and what have you. He didn't go to those either.
The likes of Mitt Romney. How do we have that guy? He's worse than a rhino. I think rhinos are good compared to Mitt Romney. He's the
Whatever that means.
worst. Karl Rove, Paul Ryan. How about Paul Ryan? How bad was he?
Well, he got a huge business tax cut, quite frankly, so big that he couldn't not leave office and go benefit from it.
And now he works at Fox. He's on the board of Fox. So what's that all about, right? Wonderful. That's probably what happened to Fox.
Probably.
And there's no chance we're going to let them claw their way back into the power of our party. We don't want them in our party.
No, keep them out.
Because they've heard.
They got elected multiple times. We don't want them in there either. Democrats, I'm with you. Hey, broken clock time. You're absolutely right. Keep those people out. They got elected multiple times. They probably could again. So fuck that.
Our party. And frankly, we don't love the job that Ron DeSanctimonious has done, or Nikki Haley, or even worse when you look, and this is the one we just cannot play games. We got to get rid of crooked Joe Biden. The most corrupt, the most incompetent, and the worst president in the history of our country.
Well, I don't need to hear more. You guys need to hear more. I mean, that's pretty much settles it. I got about 5 minutes more of this. We'll jump to a different speech.
And I have to say this because
Oh dear.
it's so tough. The language is so tough. But
Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, ouch. Corrupt. Ugh.
they did something to me that was unthinkable.
Oh, no. What by the way, you do realize that most of us don't have drug-addled brains, so we can think. And so a lot of stuff isn't unthinkable. It might be seemingly impossible to do. You might be able to think it, but following through on it is the horrible part, which you seem to be fine doing. I noticed you never really used that as a way to castigate an idea. But anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were gonna say the unthinkable, which I guess you have to think to say.
They indicted me
Oh no, that's completely thinkable. Jesus Christ, most of us were wondering what took them so long.
because I fought against a corrupt election.
No, I think it's because you stole classified documents and conspired with some of your staff to hide it from both your lawyer, which made them engage in a crime, and the American people. And you were fully aware that you had classified documents. That's why you gave them back in a red-weld envelope, but you kept some of them for yourself that were hidden in the property. Other ones are still missing, including a binder full of raw intel on Russia that somehow fucking vanished from your time in the Oval Office. It just magically fucking gone. So no, I don't think that's unthinkable. I've been thinking it a lot, quite frankly. I was thinking it. I think most of my chat room was thinking it before it happened, if I'm not mistaken. It's just yeah.
Got indicted, and I'm in all these really highly Democrat areas with radical left Soros
Yeah, where we care about the law. I understand.
backed prosecutors. I got areas where Republicans get 2% of the vote. Washington D.C. I'm going to close up Washington. We're going to federalize it. You can't walk down the street in Washington now. It was a great place when I was there.
Then why did you have to have the military clear the road so you could just go hold a Bible upside down in front of a church that was burned? If it was great while you were there, why? It became shit while. All right.
You can't walk down the street. You get shot. 3 people were shot the other night, killed.
What? In a big city? In America? You do realize 3 people were shot in Iowa, including an 11-year-old who fucking died. You told him to get over it.
Walking down the street, they were tourists. People don't go there anymore. It's our
Nobody goes to D.C. anymore. I mean, I do, and some of you do, and other people.
nation's capital.
Is this guy going to be president again? No, he's not been.
And it's so sad to see.
Oh, it's so sad.
But when you look at what's happened, when
Yeah, you gotta.
you look at what they've allowed people to get away with, how they're
Look at
destroying
look what's going on, at a level like no one's ever
the
seen
fabric
before.
of our country in every way. But Washington, D.C., we're going to federalize it, take it over, make it safe, and make it beautiful. Take all the graffiti off those beautiful marble columns. You see these gorgeous marble columns, and then you see a swastika on the marble column.
No, you don't.
And we're going to get rid of all of that stuff, and we're going to take it over, and we're going to have a
Yeah, we don't have any swastikas on the marble columns, dum-dum.
capital that's going to be just incredible.
Yeah, a swash. Oh, that was my mistake. He said swash ticker. Sticker? Swash sticker? It was a sticker. I see. With a swass on it. Is swass like a shoe company for skateboarders? Fucking kids today.
As it should be. As it should be.
Yeah.
And some people are, people that are against that don't love our country very much. But you can't walk down the street anymore. People that work there are afraid to stay there anymore. Our country is dying.
Is that why the Republicans took a early vacation? Why they keep going back to their districts? They're just scared to be in D.C.?
And there's no time to waste for your vote. You have to get rid of these establishment career politicians that have
They mean Republicans.
sold you down the river. We have
that river. Oh.
great people. By the way, we also have great people in Washington. We have
who will also sell you down the river, but they're friends of mine. So
great people in our military. I took out ISIS in 4 months. We have
4 months. It was 4 weeks.
great people. I met some warrior generals they could beat anyone. The people that took out ISIS were unbelievable. Raisin Cain, you know that.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That story, right? General
Oh, yeah, we know General Raisin. We know the General. Oh, yeah.
Raisin Cain.
Yeah, it's a story. It's quite a story.
We love Raisin Cain.
Yeah, we do. Can you, well, I've heard it, though. Can you skip to the end?
But we have.
Can you tell an anecdote that has like an up-tempo thing? I'm starting to fall asleep.
What's your name? Cain, sir.
Oh, fuck. Now he's going to tell it.
Oh, what's your first name? Well, they called me Raisin. I said, wait a minute. Your name is Raisin Cain. I love you, General. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for these stiffs that you see on television. Oh.
Yeah, raisin. It turned out to be raisin cake, actually. It was a total, like, he just misheard the guy.
Oh, I'm so ashamed. I walked down to the church with the president, and he held the Bible. They attacked that church. That church was on fire the day before.
Right. And then it was put out. And You could have gone down there and once it was rebuilt, maybe gone to service there. I would say.
They got very lucky. We authorized it. They built a fireproof. The area of that church was built along with the White House. And it's amazing. 2 weeks before that, they completed the job of fireproofing the basement of the church.
Wow, so it was a conspiracy.
They started a fire in the basement.
Well, I guess it wasn't that fireproof.
And it didn't spread because of the fireproofing. But it
wasn't fireproof. It was sort of like fire containment.
But it got very badly damaged. But it didn't spread because she's clapping. It's true, right?
Yeah, you were clapping. She did a little clap, and she had a bug on her hand. It's Iowa.
And it was sort of luck, I guess.
Kinda. I mean, it certainly wasn't the hand of God saving his church or anything like that in that time. It's probably just luck. You know what I mean? It's like luck. Anything that happens in a church, the people at the church, really, what they want to hear is that it was luck. Fuck me.
But I went down.
Just go do that. Go tell the people, wow, it sure was lucky that this place didn't burn to the ground. Well, you guys must have a great rabbit's foot hanging around somewhere. Probably hanging up there on that cross with the naked dude.
I held the Bible high.
Not your Bible, and just a Bible, and upside down.
And Millie said, oh, I shouldn't have walked with the... No, he should have walked with the president. He should have been proud to walk with the president.
Yeah, but normally he would, but you are a special case.
That was the end of him. That was the end of him.
No, he still got his job, actually. Well, he did. Now he's retired.
And the other thing, I love studying the... if you take a look, the wars, I don't know what it is. The Civil War was so fascinating, so...
Isn't it, though? Yeah, it's so fascinating.
Horrible.
Oh, fascinating and horrible. Yeah.
So horrible.
Oh, so horrible, but fascinating.
But so fascinating.
Oh, yeah, it's really fascinating. It's just fascinating and horrible. Say horrible and fascinating again, you dumb motherfucker. Which is it? Horrible or fascinating? Are you fascinated with horror? What the fuck's the matter with you?
It was...
horrible? Was it fascinating?
I don't know. It was just different. I just find it...
Yeah, it was just different. It was different. It was different than all the other wars, which were incivil, I suppose.
I'm so attracted to seeing it. So many mistakes were made.
You're so attracted to seeing it. Hold on one second. Back the fuck up. You're so attracted to seeing it.
So fascinating. It was, I don't know. It was just different. I just find it, I'm so attracted to seeing it. So many mistakes were made.
Yeah, there were a lot of mistakes made on the General Lee side, I think.
See, there was something I think could have been negotiated, to be honest with you. I think you could have negotiated that.
Yeah, you keep, tell you what, we'll keep the Constitution and the flag that we have, and you guys keep 85% of your slaves. Okay, but all right, 82%. See, I got them on the run.
All the people died. So many people died. That was...
Yeah, senselessly, just to free slaves. I mean, honestly, you couldn't have just talked your way out of it?
Was the disaster if you got hit by a bullet in the leg.
Yeah, or anywhere, pretty much.
You were essentially going to die or
essentially
lose the leg. That's why you had so many people, no legs, no arms. If you got...
Yeah, because it would just blow the arm right off. They had these incredible exploding musket balls. That's why they only needed to load one, because they would just fragment and shred everything.
Hit in the arm or the leg, it meant you were up because the infection, gangrene. It was just such...
Yeah, they were basically little balls of gangrene they fired at you.
Sort of a horrible time.
Sort of a horror. Yeah, it was. I would agree. It's sort of horrible. That's why I hope all of you read my new book on the Civil War. Kind of horrible, but also fascinating.
But I was thinking to myself, because I was reading something, and...
Were you, what? You were just reading something, were you? What were you reading there, champ? What were you were thinking to yourself, because you were reading something. What were you reading?
I said, this is something that could have been negotiated.
Yeah, if I'd only been there, I would have gone, look, slavery's bad, but what are you going to have them running around with the same rights as the rest of us? I don't think so.
It was just for all those people to die, and they died viciously. That was
Oh, it's vicious. And to do it just to free black people. I mean, honestly. And what did it lead to? I had to give Ben Carson a spot on my camp. Oh, it's just terrible. He had to get a cabinet position, and I had to listen to him talk all quiet, like he was he's a lunatic whispering at a cupcake. Fuck this dude. It could have been negotiated.
A vicious.
Oh, vicious. And for what? For what? To end slavery?
War.
Yeah.
And
What is it good for? I mean, sometimes it's good for freeing slaves, which I would say is another in the bad box. I would say in the do's and don'ts of war. You'd say it's a do, I say it's a don't.
in many ways, look, they're all this nothing nice about it, but
No.
boy, that was a tough one for our country.
Really? How was it? I mean, you saw a thing when you were reading and watching it. This is fucking insanity, by the way.
But I think it's
No one knows what you're talking about, asshole.
Abraham Lincoln. Of course, if he negotiated it, you probably wouldn't even know who Abraham Lincoln was.
Yes, you would. He would have been the guy that negotiated the extension of slavery another 8 years before somebody fucking stopped it and they got killed. We weren't going to still have slavery, you dumb motherfucker.
He would have been president, but he would have been president. He would have been
the kind of president that was holding time on slavery until the president that came, I guess, till what? Truman gets rid of it? What the fuck are you thinking?
He wouldn't have been the Abraham Lincoln. Would have
right. Because he would have been the buddy of Robert E. Lee that was president at the time.
been different, but that would have been okay. It's
No, it would not have. It would not have.
It would have been a thing that, and I know it very well. I know the whole process that they went through, and
No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. No, you don't. No, not ever.
they just couldn't get along. And
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what you know what they didn't need? They didn't need Abraham Lincoln. They needed Rodney King. Couldn't we all just get along? Good Lord. Yeah, his brain is fucking mush.
that would have been something that could have been negotiated.
No. Jesus Christ. The last time they tried to negotiate it, the blacks and natives were counted as 3/5 of a person. That was the negotiation. What do you just, okay, we just go back to what the Constitution says and give them 3/5 of the rights and we could pick which ones they get? The shit out of here.
And they wouldn't have had that problem. But
No, they wouldn't have. I mean, they would. What problem? The black people being free? Jesus Christ.
it was a hell of a time.
It was a hell of a time. It really was. The clothes were all chafy and, but hey, you could get a hooker for one of those dollar-esque coins or whatever. So there's that.
And you think of it today,
Yeah, I do. I think of it today and go, thank God that war was fought over 150 years ago.
I would have absolutely stopped Putin. He would have never gone in, and he didn't.
During the Civil War.
For 4 years he didn't. It was never
No, he was there. He was in the Donbass the entire time. They were in Crimea the whole time. They didn't get him out.
even a thought of it going in. And
Yeah, they thought of it the entire time. He was planning it. He said he was planning it. They were working on it. They were trying to get you to basically okay it, which you did.
that was the apple of his eye. He would tell me.
The apple of his eye. He'd just sit there and stare out his window like the little red-haired girl in Charlie Brown.
We would talk.
We would talk and, well, I would talk and more like make moaning sounds, and he would lose his wristwatch in my ass.
That was the apple of his eye, but there was no way he was going to go. And I told him, you can't go in. You go in, bad things are going to happen.
Yeah, bad things are going to happen. And he was like this, and you like that. And then I walked funny for a week.
And he would have never gone in. Plus, oil prices were so low that he wasn't going to be able to go in and wouldn't have been able to afford it.
Horse shit. The only time oil prices went that low were during COVID.
As soon as I got out, oil spiked up to $100 a barrel. And all of a sudden, he's making a fortune. And he saw the incompetence of Afghanistan. And he said, wow, these people are incompetent.
And now the ruble is, on a currency standpoint, a international pariah.
I guess I'll go in.
Drop your
Unlike-
shorts and bend over, Mr. Babar.
Like every other candidate in this race with me, you know. And
Jesus Christ. Now he's back to the teleprompter. You know, Biden couldn't riff like this. Biden couldn't just whip off a riff about how he could have negotiated the Civil War and, I guess, kept slavery. Kind of think of it as the Bagram of the South.
your heart, and you'll always know that I will put America first. And with God's help, we will get this job done better than ever before.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, titties.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan, for putting a girl in the front row that looks kind of like Ivanka. It really gives me a spring in my step.
Thank you. Thank you, Sonny.
Thank you. Stop doing that. I want to finish this and get the fuck out of here.
So a vote for Donald Trump in these caucuses is a vote to secure our border. It's a vote to stop the invasion, the biggest invasion of our country ever. I mean, what's the difference between military? At least military, they're in front of you. You can shoot them.
Right, yeah. That sucks.
But these people are coming in and
You know, we can't even shoot them. Just because they're women and kids, largely. And then, you know, I guess men as well. But we can't even shoot them. Why can't we shoot them?
the crimes they're committing are just incredible.
Yeah. They're just, why can't we just shoot them?
Many
You know, like Jesus would have.
of them are very sick, and that gets caught by our people.
Yes, it gets caught by our people. Is that how you got syphilis? Come on.
Very sick. They're letting people. We had that too. Remember?
Oh, you mean when the border was basically shut because nobody wanted to come in because we had more COVID cases than Mexico did?
Our great title. We called it title. We just called it title.
Title 42 because you can't remember the fucking number?
But it didn't allow people that were
Jesus Christ, we just called it title. What the shit?
caught by our people. Have been very sick. They're letting people. We had that too. Remember? Our great title. We called it title. We just called it title. But
We just called it title. We just called it title. No, you fucking well did not. Title. We just called it title. We just said title, and they knew what I was saying when I said the title thing. Title, and they're like, what about the tides? No, title. Like pools or tidal waves or no title. You're the president. What? That's your title. No, asshole. Title. Just give me the Chris Titus. No, that's not.
it didn't allow people that were sick to come in and infect our people.
Well, no, you could reject people because of Title 42 on the premise that they might be people sick, but they were already in when you rejected them based on Title 42, so they could get people. Oh, shit.
And now everybody can just pour into our country.
Yeah, giving everybody at Mar-a-Lago syphilis, and then what happens? Whatever. I mean, you don't have anything to worry about because your early version of syphilis is way more potent and can probably beat the new syphilis to death.
It's a vote to rescue our economy, and it's a vote to reclaim our democracy from crooked Joe Biden and the entire criminal class in our nation's capital. They are criminals. And I was going to say before,
Oh, great.
when they indicted me, I spoke differently about him. I respect the office of the presidency tremendously. And I never talked the way I did. I'd say, it's not doing the job and things that you would say.
No, he said Crooked Joe and all that shit, like all during, he just didn't have the nickname, but he just shit on him like crazy, fucked with his kid, all that stuff, all during the campaign. What are you talking about?
But I never said he's grossly incompetent. He's this.
Well, he wasn't president yet.
He's that. He is, by the way. But I wouldn't say it because I had too much respect for the office. Now I say it. He's corrupt.
Because I no longer have respect for the office. I mean, honestly, if they'll let somebody like me in there, why would I have any respect for the office of the presidency? I was in there. Are you fit? It's not worth shit. Between me and George W. Bush, they'll let anybody in there. Jesus Christ.
Corrupt. He's incompetent. He has no idea. I would never talk about he can't find a stairway that's, 10
Yeah, you said that part already.
feet to his left, 10 feet to his right, in front of him, behind him. He walks into a wall. He walks into a wall.
No, he's never walked into a wall.
Where's the stair around here?
It's good. I mean, it's high comedy. I can see why Joe Rogan likes him so much. It's like they had the same comedy tutor.
I never did that stuff. And
Yeah, you just went,
Now it's different because he did
it is. It's different. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't have brought this up when I was renegotiating the Civil War, but
something. He weaponized the DOJ and the FBI. They're after Christians. They're after Catholics, especially. I mean, the Catholics, I got 50% of the Catholic vote. I should have gotten 100%. The Catholics are like a target of these people.
yeah, they're just attacking Catholics in general by putting one of them in the Oval Office. It's unbelievable.
Understand how
I don't even understand why don't Catholics know that a Catholic in an observant Catholic, like a dude goes to mass, like when it's Ash Wednesday, he's got a fucking mark on his forehead, and how can they not see this?
how a Catholic can vote for these people. But I would never have spoken this way. But, the worst criminals in history haven't been indicted 4 times. If you
Yeah, but that's because they couldn't get them on the shit, like Al Capone. He's going to talk about Al Capone. Al Capone, they couldn't get him on the murders because he would murder anybody who would snitch on him. But the tax evasion part he couldn't avoid.
think, I always talk about Alphonse Capone.
Right, and nobody else calls him Alphonse, which is fucking weird.
But he was pretty bad. He was tough. If he had dinner with you, this gentleman with that beautiful, let's see, if you don't like Trump, I like that. You don't like the country. Stand up, say hello to them. If this gentleman had dinner with Al Capone.
Al Capone.
If Al Capone didn't...
Just that. No, it's okay. Just burp straight into the mic.
Trump? I like that. You don't like the country. Stand up, say hello to them. If this gentleman had dinner with Al Capone. And if
Al Capone
didn't like the way he cut that beautiful beard.
What?
He'd be dead the next day. He'd be gone.
Yeah, he was that. It was, the one thing that would set off Alphonse Capone was, somebody's, depilatory, their personal grooming habits. Oh, he hated it.
Right? Although you're a pretty tough cookie. Do you think you could have handled Al Capone? I don't know.
Well, no, because if you'd have tried, his guys would have killed you. That's the head. That's what being the head of a crime family does for you. Why am I even discussing this? Why is this a conversation?
Anyway, but thank you very much, and I do love.
Sit back down in your stupid shirt. Thank you for being my dancing guinea pig for this stupid bit about Alphonse Capone.
What do you have on your handsome chest?
Shirt. I mean, you could say cool shirt. Maybe just say cool shirt. I don't know. That didn't occur to you? Just your cool shirt. You had that on. You got a cool shirt on. Handsome chest. Okay.
I do love it.
You love his. You love his handsome chest. Okay. Well, hey, then we're not here to yuck anybody's yum. Can you stop leering at him? You're looking at him like he's your daughter or something. Maybe that's it. Maybe we don't know. Maybe it's a picture of Ivanka on the shirt.
They come up with some beautiful slogans that I'm very honored by, actually.
Yeah, they totally do.
But the biggest criminals in the world weren't indicted 4 times. They were indicting me so fast. And my poll numbers were going up through the roof.
And then they came right back down. It might have had something to do with the fact that in the civil case in New York, they proved that you're a broke motherfucker and you've been lying about being rich for a long time. And that cut against the myth that a lot of these assholes voted for in the first place.
And then they were going to indict me 2 more times. And I heard they got a call from Washington. Please don't do it. No more indictments. This isn't working out. I'd be
didn't happen.
leading by a lot, but I wouldn't be leading by the kind of numbers because the people understand it's a scam. It's a political. It's interference with the election.
So you're not really worth it. This is just like a disgruntled sovereign citizen group that's added onto your vote. Like you're getting extra votes you wouldn't have earned, that you haven't earned, is what you're saying. You haven't earned these votes. Other people just hate the government, and therefore they're using you as a proxy for their hatred of the government. So you're just gathering up all the the white cheeseball sovereign citizen assholes and the black Hebrew Israelites and the fucking Moorish idiots and people like that who don't really believe the Constitution applies to them and stuff. So they're just kind of prisming their horse shit through you. Is that you've just got those votes because you're being indicted? Is that the idea? I mean, they don't vote, so I don't know how that helps.
It's a political witch hunt, and he's using the DOJ He has this guy, Jack Smith, comes out of The Hague, and he's terrible, terrible human being. He's central
Yeah, he just spent most of his life going after war criminals.
casting, though. You look at that guy, he's like the personification of evil. He's
Except if the personification of evil worked at The Hague to try and actually prosecute actual evil, I guess.
lost a lot of cases. You know why he loses them? Because he goes too far.
Oh, it's too far. You know, I guess that's the problem, though. You kind of see what these kind of monsters you're dealing with, and it's easy to overshoot because they're fucking monsters.
He's a sad sack.
He's a sad sack. He is. Not a sad sack, which is like a reference to a character from, cartoons back from fucking World War II, all run together. He's just a sad sack. Like, it's like an old bag of White Castle
You
hamburgers.
look at this guy. Somebody said, why don't you treat him nicely? I said, oh, we'd be doing much worse. I mean, if you treat him nicely. There's
Why?
nothing nice about him. He's a corrupt person. But you look at the people, and they're using these people to get to the Republican, not just me. Oh, and it'll get worse and worse. You watch. You'll have some congressman. At least I'm able to explain to you guys, and you understand it. And many of you understand it better than I do.
They'd have to, because I don't fucking understand.
But you'll have some congressman get a subpoena from the federal government to show up before a grand jury. And the word gets out, he's destroyed. He can't, even if he's totally innocent. But they'll go after our congressman. They'll go after our senator.
What? What are you talking about? Jim Jordan avoided his subpoena, and he's the head of the House Judiciary Committee.
That's what they're doing. They've weaponized government like never before. And the only thing I can say is, there's a 5 or 6, depending on your definition, depending on who you're asking. But there's a statute of limitations. I mean, what they have is a very...
Oh, this is your defense? It's not that I didn't do anything wrong. It's that I did something wrong, but too much time has passed. That's exactly what you want to say. As an innocent man,
dangerous thing. What they're doing is a very dangerous thing. But I would have never, until this happened. In fact, nobody thought J6 was even a possibility.
Really?
If you read the stuff about, that fake committee with the 2 Republicans kissing, crying, remember crying Kissinger? And Liz Cheney.
Crying Kissinger? You mean Kinzinger? Kissinger's dead. Kinzinger is never mind.
I mean, she has
Boo, Republican daughter of Republican former vice president who's a piece of shit. Boo.
She has a major case of Trump derangement syndrome. I watch her on television. She's shaking. I get scared. I mean, I did knock her out of office. She lost by the largest margin in history for a congressperson. Did you know that? Because...
No, maybe, I don't know what the statistical part of it is, but there's fucking barely anybody in Wyoming, asshole.
Any congressman doing that, congressman or woman, doing that badly would drop out of the race long before the race. So they never got to see, because I'm sure there were people that were as unpopular, probably can't be many. But she lost by, I think, 40%. It's the biggest, did you know that? The biggest margin ever lost in the history of our country.
Yeah, but in 40% of the vote there in Wyoming is like 80 people.
And then I see her on CNN and MS. MS is worse than CNN. MSDNC. She goes, oh, my Lord. Am I right about that? It's the worst. Oh, they want to string you up. They are the most evil, and they're dishonest as hell.
Wait a minute. MSNBC wants to string you up? Hold the fucking farm, buddy. You're the one whose followers built a gallows to hang your vice president. String you up?
But they are really evil. They're bad. These are bad people. It's so funny, your reaction. Those are 2 votes I got, I'm telling you.
Yeah, they don't live there, though. These are front row Joes. They follow you around. They're from other states, and God knows if they're even registered in their own state. The irony is that some of them are, and they're going to follow you everywhere, and they'll vote from wherever they are. They'll mail in their vote when you think mail-in voting can't be trusted, and then you're going to come back to their district, which you're going to fucking lose, because the only reason they follow you around is because their district goes the other direction, so their neighbors can't stand them, and they can't stand their neighbors, so they're fucking deadheading around the country at your goddamn rallies. And they mail in their vote, and then you're going to go, we should have won that district because some of our biggest supporters are from there, but it's those fucking mail-in ballots.
Oh, they're very bad people. They're very bad.
Oh, very bad people. I'll write that down.
No. Well,
Yeah, I don't know what you're
it's
saying.
not, but it's a shame. You know, I'll give you an example. I have a son, Don, who's a very good guy. And he's become hardened, very hardened, because he
Well, I mean, the weed softens him up. He's a little glassy-eyed.
went
every so
down
often.
to Washington and he wanted to help and, you know, help with, like, negotiate some deals for the country with.
Yeah, but didn't you put him in charge of the company and he wasn't supposed to be there?
Mexico, with Canada.
Yeah, he's not allowed to do that because you would separate it. Never
Love
mind.
to get. He gets involved in Russia. He had nothing to do with Russia. Now think of it. Just put yourselves. You have a son. You love your son. You know, you love your kids. I had my son go down, and he wants to help the country. He didn't want money. He didn't want anything. Just wants to help the country.
He just wanted to be in on trade deals while not working in the cabinet. He wanted to sit there during them and do all the stuff that you guys are accusing Hunter Biden of doing, but for real. Like, you're admitting that's why he was there.
Same thing with Eric's. How about Ivanka? Ivanka just wanted to help people get jobs.
Yeah, she just wanted to help her and her husband get $3 billion.
So I said, I'll put you in the United Nations and you'll be ambassador and you will be better than anybody that's ever been there, 10 times better than Nikki Haley was. Ivanka would be the star of all stars. She said, Dad, I don't want to do that. I want to keep doing what I'm doing. You know what she did? She went around to see companies to get people jobs, get Walmart, to hire people. And hundreds of thousands of people were hired because of her.
Also, yeah, it's weird that she was doing stuff that traditionally is left up to first ladies. We'll move past that for a second. But after, I mean, she and Jared made themselves rich by multitudes more than you got even while you were in office. And Don Jr. wasn't supposed to be anywhere near this shit.
It's sort of not glamorous. The other would have been very glamorous.
Yeah, it's not glamorous. UN's glamorous, but helping people get jobs, that's not glamorous.
Would have been so perfect for her. She would have owned the world, okay?
Yeah, because that's what the purpose of the UN is.
If I put her there, she would have been so perfect for that job. We would have had everybody because she's great, smart. She got
Don't with the hand gestures when you're about to when you say great, smart.
been so perfect for her. She would have owned the world, okay? If I put her there, she would have been so perfect for that job. We would have had everybody because she's great, smart.
Because she's great, smart, fucking gross. My God.
She got the
Thanks, CSL.
whole package.
By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. I'm here 5 days a week in the afternoons, and I got a morning show Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then, of course, on Saturday, we do the radio show. Hal Sparks radio program Mega Worldwide has been running for almost 15 years now. Very exciting. And thanks to you guys, I'm almost actually able to have it not cost me anything to do that radio show. It's nice.
She wanted to help
Yes, hit a subscribe while you're in there.
people, and they would go after her. It's just so sad. But they went after Don. So think of this. Don spent many hours in a
Pleading the fifth.
federal grand jury and
Pleading the
before
fifth.
Congress and all the different things.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam Shifty Schiff, bad guy, no dummy. These are not dumb people. But Adam Shifty Schiff would come out of a meeting that's supposed to be secret. He'd have a lot of press there because they're talking about us.
Yeah, secret stuff.
I'll never forget it because Russia turned out to be a hoax that they now all admit.
No, they don't.
Now admitted
No, they haven't.
times, they all admitted it was a hoax.
No, they don't. No, it wasn't.
It was a made-up, fictional thing.
No, it wasn't.
And Adam Shifty Schiff comes out and said, look right at the microphones. They're all piled up here, all these mics all over.
And CSL, if we ever find this clip, he's said this a few times. If anybody's ever seen what the fuck he's talking about, I'd love to hear it because I've looked.
This press all over. Donald Trump Jr. will go to prison for what he's done with Russia.
Yeah, nothing. I've looked for that quote so many fucking times.
Now, he knows it's a con.
This is a con. Honest to fucking God, he didn't fucking say this.
He's the one that created it along with crooked Hillary Clinton and the others, right? Right? So
No.
he knows it's a con, Brad. He knows it's a con.
Fucking Brad.
They made it up, and it was really made up short term. It was supposed to be the reason that she lost was Russia. And they thought it would be a 24-hour deal, and but of course the fake news wouldn't give it up, even though they knew it was bullshit. Okay, they knew it was bullshit.
There's kids there.
They wouldn't give
Watch your fucking
it
language.
up. But think of it. He knew it.
The meeting with the Russian lawyer and Trump Towers, what he's talking about. Yeah, I have a feeling that's what they're talking about. I just haven't been able to find video of Schiff saying that Don Jr. should go to jail for what he's done. Like because both of them have quoted it.
It was a con. They made it up.
Con!
It was made up. It was made up to solve the problem of how did she lose, because she wasn't expected to lose. The polls said she was going to win. I disagreed, because would come here and would have 35,000 people at a rally, and she'd come here and she'd have 9 people. And same with him. He couldn't fill up the circles, right?
Yeah, but he kicked your ass, so.
No, he couldn't fill up the draw like 8 circles. The guy, they had to use the press to stand in the circles
Those circles were for press.
because they didn't have the people.
They weren't supposed to because it was COVID. The whole point was the press would act as a surrogate for groups of people because it was dangerous. We were in the middle of a pandemic.
But think, how bad do you have to be?
I give up.
You say that somebody's son is going to prison.
I would like, again, I have yet to see that.
And I actually called him. I said, Don, are you okay? I mean, is there any
And I never
truth
called
to
him.
this Russia stuff? Dad, I don't know anything about
Dad, I don't know anything about this.
Russia, which I know. I know the kid.
Do you? You sure?
He's a good kid,
Did you? Because I'm beginning. He's also 40.
but he becomes harder. You know, you become hardened.
Yeah. Now he doesn't return your phone calls, and
And
he's
he
just,
got a little bit harder. You may have even noticed in his speech, the anger. He gets angry
So he's got a temper problem, and you're scared of him now.
because what happened to him was so bad.
What happened to him? Eric was the one that had to plead the fifth 400 times, just like you.
So they know the story is fake.
Yeah, just like the story you told about Adam Schiff saying that Don Jr. should go to jail for what he'd done.
They know the deal is made up. They know it's a witch hunt. It was put there to get rid of this bad stigma of a loss. They thought it would go away in one day, but it didn't, because the press kept it going and going and going. Went for over 2 years.
Yeah, and in the end, dozens of your campaign staff, including your campaign chairman, were indicted and went to jail.
And they say, they know it's a fake, and they say, he's going to prison. How bad do you have to be? You know, it's one thing if you really believe this to be true and all that, but they know it's a fake because they created it. We have everything.
No, you don't.
They spied on my campaign,
No, they
all
didn't.
these different things.
Yeah, it's all gibberish. I get it.
But you know it's a fake, and they say Donald Trump Jr. will go to prison for what he did with Russia. You have to be a bad seed.
Bad seed. Bad seed.
To do that stuff. You really do. You have to be a sick, bad seed.
A sick bad seed. Jesus Christ. Welcome to Earth. Like, this guy uses colloquialisms like Vincent D'Onofrio in Men in Black. It's like an alien wearing a human skin.
So this election is
Anyways, where was I? Teleprompter
our
time.
last chance to save America. The battle begins in Iowa on January 15th, and Joe
Oh, fuck
Biden's
off.
banana republic ends on November 5th, 2024.
Well, technically, he'd be in office until January. Even still, on November 5th, he'd still be president. And also, if it is a banana republic, just because you won doesn't mean he'll let you take power. He's the president now. Also, if you think you have presidential immunity because you're just acting as the president, then what fucking power are you giving him, dum-dum? Mussolini face. Oh, he's staring at the blonde. There she is. What's up, Ivanka lookalike? Hello.
Never told that one.
Never told that one before, it's true.
That's true.
I just made it up. Why did That's True come out and sound exactly like fucking, I don't know whose thumb, where he's gonna stick that thumb, but why did he sound like Joe Pesci right when he said that? Listen to the That's True.
Never told that one. That's true.
That's true. What, am I fucking funny to you? That's true.
Hey, nice chest.
Good.
Good parts there. Good.
You made a good choice.
Ew.
I like that couple. Thank you very much.
Ah! He points at the woman, sees she's with the guy, and goes, "You made a good choice. I like that couple."
Thank you. Thank you.
You're her get out of jail free card. Just saying.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Nice to be here. Well, we did. We sacrificed, but you sacrificed too.
We sacrifice. We sacrifice coming to Iowa. You sacrifice by living in Iowa. It's
You know, you sacrificed too.
Yeah, you sacrifice too. I mean, you stood in line and you're listening to this bullshit.
It's amazing when you talk about like the election. It's a conspiracy. There's no conspiracy. They spied on my campaign. You say that this is a conspiracy, but we have all the evidence. We have all the proof. I wish
No, you don't.
we had an attorney general that would have been better than
You picked two of them and they both suck. Maybe it's you.
Bill Barr. Bill Barr was a coward. He didn't want to do what he should have
Yeah, hashtag the best people.
done. And you know, it's okay in a certain way because nobody
Yeah, it's totally okay. It's okay. Just everybody you hire is either a fucking Benedict Arnold or incompetent. I understand.
thought that you should ever do. You rip the country apart when you get into that stuff. Nobody's ever done that except this guy. This guy, because he can't talk, can't put sentences together. He has no
Really, the speech you gave the other day was pretty rock solid, and you're kind of a rambling, sweaty mess.
idea what's going on.
I tell you what? Why don't you tell us what's going on? What is going on with you right now? I mean, just give me a rundown from head to toe. Do you smell almonds?
It's probably the only way they can win, I guess. But I don't think
I don't know. They don't even know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
that's going to win. And so far,
I don't think you can't win like that, which I think I'm not going to win. This guy, he can't put words in a sentence. If put both together, if they happen,
let's put it this way. I think in history, I'm probably the only guy that ever got indicted 4 times. Whose poll numbers went through the roof. Usually if you get
most people who are getting indicted don't have polls around them. And also, secondly, no, John Gotti became more popular in New York City when he got indicted until it stuck. And then everybody was like, who the fuck was that guy? I don't care anymore.
indicted, here's what happens. You go to the mic. I have decided to resign from office today, and I am going back to my family, and I will fight for my name. That's the last you ever hear of the poor guy, right? This is about 100% of the time when they get indicted. They get indicted all the
Yeah, because they actually have shame.
time. Matt understands this. He was probably after some, but he was easy. You have to be reasonable with that stuff. It's a very powerful thing. In a way, the prosecutors are the most powerful people in the country.
Well, only if you're a criminal, I guess.
If you ever think about it, I sometimes see
I do think about it. I think a lot. Yeah.
6 prosecutors, and I see some big politicians. The prosecutors are more powerful than the politicians.
Aren't they, though?
And they have to use that very judiciously. You don't have a country anymore. But they didn't use that in this case because in my case, they went after me. And they would have done it more, except it's backfired. It's backfired. And if I didn't run, or if I was in 5th place or something, I would have had no indictments. This is all political stuff.
Yeah, bullshit. He'd gotten a letter saying that you're going to be indicted before he started to run. That's why he decided to run early. Again, I've used this analogy before, but it makes sense. Like, this is like getting pulled over by a cop, like a county officer, and you get pulled over for speeding or whatever, and you go, you can't ticket me? Why? I've decided to run for mayor.
Including the women's stuff, the Bergdorf Goodman. I meet a woman outside of Bergdorf Goodman.
Okay, so you admit meeting her at the Bergdorf Goodman. Bergdorf Goodman.
Took her upstairs to a changing booth. It was all made up.
No, it isn't. She has your DNA, dumb fuck.
And you know who's financing it? Reid Hoffman, their #1 political donor. Reid Hoffman.
Well, he knows how to spend his money, I think. I think that's it's interesting. And by the way, technically speaking, you're financing it now.
Big fat slob.
Rich, though. Big, fat, rich slob.
And I never use the word fat, not even with Christie. In fact, with Christie, but this guy I'll call a fat slob.
Because that'll never come back to haunt you.
Because he's worse than Christie. He's worse than Christie. He's a slob. Remember with Christie, I'd say, please, sir, do not call him a fat slob. Some guy says very lowly, he's a fat slob, sir. I said, do not use the word fat. He is not a fat slob. You know, in front of 10,000 people, I'm saying.
Yeah, it's great. 10,000 people. Not this. Obviously, it doesn't work as well when there's like, you know, I'm in a fucking Ramada Inn, but in front of like 10,000 people, that was the day, wasn't it? Remember when I used to be able to pull, you know, fucking big crowds like that? Yeah.
He is not a fat slob. I came to his defense. But no, this guy's bad news. Reid Hoffman, he's financing these things. You know, all of them. Every one of these cases that you see.
Yeah, except he isn't. But also, just because he's financing them, if you're found guilty, you're found guilty.
Met a woman in front of Bergdorf Goodman, took her up to a changing booth right outside where the cash register is. This is New York City. Why didn't you scream? I was in trauma.
Jesus Christ.
But if you saw her interview with Anderson Cooper, you would see, wow, that was... And she answered some questions.
Oh, man. I would just say, from a political standpoint, you kind of want to avoid the one area where a judge has said, in the common parlance, you qualify as a rapist. Yeah? Yeah, I mean, of all the stories you'd want to kind of relitigate, this ain't one of them. I'm just saying.
And he said, we're going to commercial right away. And then he comes, you saw this, and then he comes back from the commercial, and she's 100%. She's just doing what they want her to do.
What? What'd they do? Shoot her with an elephant dart? What the fuck are you talking about? And also, what is this face?
Welcome to the Trump mouth kazoo choir.
Okay. Okay, here we go. He doesn't say Junior's going to jail, but he does. Okay, so let's jump over. Thank you, CSL, for grabbing this. Hold on.
Good afternoon. Wanted to make a few comments about the emails that have been released today.
Publicly released?
In the summer of last year, the Russians were in possession of information they believed would be damaging to Secretary Clinton and helpful to the Trump campaign. Some of this information they stole from the computers at the DNC and elsewhere. In June, we now know that through intermediaries, the Russian government sought to approach the Trump campaign to see whether they would be interested in damaging information about Hillary Clinton. In late July, the president, quite out in the open, then candidate Trump, urged the Russians to hack Hillary Clinton's emails and said that they would be richly rewarded. During the course of our investigation, one of the questions we have sought to answer is, was there private activity by the campaign in parallel with the very public request that now President Trump, then candidate Trump, made?
Yeah, I'm going to say probably. No, this is not live. This is the thing that Trump was allegedly referring to, where this is where Schiff supposedly says Don Jr. should go to jail for what he did.
For the Russians to hack and release Hillary Clinton information. Because we now know that the response that the president's son gave to the Russians was that he would love it if they would provide damaging information about Hillary Clinton. Rather than report this overture by the Russian government to provide damaging information to intervene in the presidential election in a way to help his father, neither the president's son nor the campaign reported this information to the FBI. When it became obvious that the emails were being dumped, when it became obvious this was being done by the Russian government, when our own intelligence community issued a statement in October affirming that this was being done by the Russians, did the Trump campaign then disclose that in fact they had received an overture to receive damaging information? The answer, of course, is no, they didn't. So this is obviously very significant, deeply disturbing new public information about direct contacts between the Russian government and its intermediaries and the very center of the Trump family, campaign, and organization. Obviously, we need to get to the bottom of exactly what happened, what was said in that meeting, any of the information that went into organizing that meeting, as well as if that meeting was just the beginning or that was a testing of the waters by the Russians to see whether the campaign would be receptive to their engagement and involvement.
Just say that he should go to jail.
In the presidential election.
Don Jr. should go to jail for what he has done.
So this is, I think, a very key development in terms of what the public is aware of. Our work continues, so we are interviewing new witnesses each week, sometimes more than one each week. We'll be doing that until we...
Yeah, we saw this. I just haven't seen the whole, like, Donald Trump must go to jail for his... Sorry. I don't even know how this is happening with his face. Shit.
Get to the bottom of...
All right, we'll get to the bottom of it. Hold on.
We're in a very dangerous time.
We so
In
are.
a very, very dangerous time.
Very.
And I had a lawyer, by the way, that said to me, and he was a good lawyer, he's fine.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, he sucked, but he's great. He was great. He was terrible at it. And he's part of the reason why I'm probably going to go to jail. But
He did the wrong thing, I thought. He said, sir, don't go to this trial. It's beneath you. There's no evidence. You know, this thing took place like 30 years ago. She didn't even know. She didn't know the year, the month. She didn't know anything. So long ago. And I have buildings surrounding Bergdorf Goodman. You know, you don't go into a changing booth. You wouldn't do that.
you just put a rag over her mouth. And, yeah, I mean, it's not like I take supplements, and certain stimulants that lower your judgment and make you, sexually aggressive and lower what little ethics you might have in the first fucking place.
Don't do anything. I have buildings surrounding it. I took her into a changing booth. Just think about how horrible this is. And it started because she wrote a book and she put a chapter in about this. And somebody called me and said, is this true? I said, no, it's not true.
What are you going to say, that it is?
They said, is she a liar? Yeah, she's a liar. That was it.
Right. And isn't that what you say about everybody?
Then I got sued for libel, for calling her a liar. So you can't, if you even defend yourself.
No. You didn't, again, you're lying there. You didn't get sued for libel because you called her a liar. You basically, as the president, said she was too ugly to fuck. That was your argument. It was an act of defamation above and beyond. If you'd have said, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, E. Jean Carroll. If you'd have gone that far, it wouldn't have gone anywhere. But you had to fucking push it. You had to shit on her. You had to try and destroy her because you're a fucking toddler.
But my lawyer said, sir, you should not be there. This is way, way below you, sir. You're the President of the United States. This is way below you. I said, yeah, but it doesn't look good. You have a jury. If I don't go there, they're there. If you don't go, I sort of felt I should be there. He said, sir, you shouldn't be there. This trial is bullshit. He used that term.
Oh, my God. He said bullshit? And you still hired him?
He said, you should not.
How you saw Tom Hartman show? Which one?
Be there, sir.
You have to be more specific. He's on every day.
This is beneath you. That's the term he used. Beneath.
Yeah, no, and which is ridiculous. I mean, you should have fired him on the spot. Nothing's beneath you. You are the bottom.
So I didn't go there, and they found me not guilty of the one charge, the big charge, but guilty of stuff. I never met I never saw this woman, except 25 years ago, there's a picture of her and her husband, who was a nice guy. He was a newscaster. He was an African-American.
Still is, I think.
And she called him an ape. in her book. And the judge, who's radical left, and a Clinton judge, radical left, said you're not allowed to use that in the trial.
What fucking... First of all, contextually, how she talks to and about her husband, or how other people talk to and about her husband, is not germane to the fact that you shoved her up against a wall and took your dick out.
And other things. They had a dress like Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, except they actually got it tested.
They said, we have a dress. So I said, all right.
Right, okay. It stops becoming a lie when they have a dress with your DNA on it?
Use it. It's sort of gross, right? Use it. Because I didn't do anything. I never saw this woman, other than they have a picture standing on a reception line where it's a celebrity. I'm shaking hands or something with hundreds and hundreds of people. That's the only picture they have.
Yeah, most, I don't know if you know this, most rapes aren't photographed. I mean, unless you're on Epstein's plane, I suppose.
I said,
which you have been a bunch of times, if I'm not mistaken.
so the dress. So I said, use it. Something never happened, and you say, we have to go through this. I said, use the dress. And the judge wouldn't allow it. It turned out there was nothing in the dress. The judge wouldn't allow it because he knew that there was nothing on the dress.
No, because it wasn't a criminal trial. It was about defamation. It didn't matter. It was about what you said about her. That's why they threw it out. If they'd added it, then the president of the United States would have had a dress with his fucking DNA on it in a rape case.
Because the judge...
He was doing you a fucking favor.
He's a radical Democrat in New York. And so you go through it. And I continue to go through it. And now I have to pay her money. A woman that I have no idea who the hell she is. No.
Well, then, how can you shit on her then? If you just don't know who she is, how easy is that? That would be the easiest thing, wouldn't you? I barely know her. I met her once on a receiving line. I've never seen her in my life. I wish her well. That's a horrible thing. I hope she's well. She sounds mentally off. That's how if you're asking me how I would handle a genuine situation where somebody said I had sexually assaulted them and I'd never met them except like in passing. If I was taking pictures with people at a comedy club and one of them later on told this horrible story and blah, blah, blah. If it didn't happen, it's quite easy to go, I never met her. There's no situation where we were ever together. The situation where she says we were together didn't happen. You know, no one can place me there. Please look up footage of the area. What night did it happen? I will tell you where I was, and because it certainly wasn't fucking there. If I was even in the city at the time, like, do that, right? That seems reasonable, right? Why would you attack and demean someone, especially if it's so wildly out of it? Like, I almost get where some guys who, like, date rapists will shit on the girl that was involved and try to, talk about her sexuality, talk about, she actually wanted it, blah, 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 and like kind of denigrate them or call her a whore, blah, 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 or at least make them, like attach it to that kind of a thought because you're trying, you were there, you do know. But if you were never, ever there and somebody says that about you, it's super easy to prove it. Especially if you, in theory, had a wife you were with at the time. Right?
No idea. And they do it for election interference.
No, they don't. You're not. If they did, this would have happened well before.
But Reid Hoffman is the guy that's funding the whole thing.
Right. Nobody cares. What the fuck does... You're talking to a bunch of assholes in Iowa. You're in a fucking Ramada Inn conference room. Who gives a fuck who Reid Hoffman? Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. This is, you want to talk about elite New Yorker bullshit? That's what this is. Like if he was talking in a boardroom in New York, there'd be a bunch of, oh, fucking Reid Hoffman. Like that, he'd be getting a response. Nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about. There's half that audience is now like on their phones Googling who the fuck Reid Hoffman is.
And he's the big political, he happens to be funding somebody named Nikki Haley also. By the way, you got to put that in your head.
No, you've got to put that in their head, dumb fuck. You've got to put that in your head? What am I supposed to do, my own propaganda now, you cheap son of a bitch?
Did you know that? No. Oh, look, she's going like, she's being funded by Reid Hoffman too.
That lady? The lady with in the couple that you wanted to fuck?
With your help, we're going to bring our country back from hell, because our country's in hell right now.
It is. Well, Iowa, but
now.
I mean, it's you feel like you're in hell because you're in fucking Newton, Iowa. No offense, Newton, Iowa, but
Victory cannot come soon enough as we
well, it's on its own schedule. I'm just saying.
speak. The last remnants of our open border, and it's an open, broken border like
The last remnants of the broken border?
nobody's ever seen in a third
Oh, it's so broken and open. It's never been this open or broken before. Not since I guess since we almost lost the Alamo, I think.
world country. No third world country would have a border like this.
Well, no, because they would just open fire on refugees with Russian guns, actually.
They'd fight them with sticks and stones if they had.
Would they? That's how third world people do it. They just sticks and stones, I guess, because they're all fucking cave people.
It's crumbling into rubble. Millions of people are storming the United States in the largest illegal mass migration in the history of the world. There's never been. You'd look at.
Yeah, that kind of has. I mean, the Mongolians entering Eastern Europe. I'm just saying, there's a lot of precedents for giant groups of people going from one place to the other. There's a lot of that shit, historically speaking.
Pictures. There's never been a migration like that. There's never
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you wouldn't call it a migration. I thought it was an invasion.
been an invasion like that.
Oh, well, thanks for saying so.
Hundreds of thousands of people on a quarterly basis,
On a quarterly basis. Jesus Christ.
and
The spreadsheets, these are some of the worst spreadsheets of people,
tough people.
Tough people, these women. Have you seen them? They've got calves like cantaloupes. Like, I heard that somewhere. Somebody said that about them. Like, they can lift a lot and carry a lot. There was some of them work at Mar-a-Lago. You know what I mean? The woman who brings in my tub of ketchup every morning that I bathe and dip everything in, she's got calves that look like football trophies.
They had some prisoners from the Congo the other night.
Oh, no. Prisoners from the Congo? Did they come in the actual cage? Were they in, like, rattan cages?
Where do you come from, the Congo?
That's what they just said? They just said, where do you come from? And they just went, the Congo? Because they're like, I don't know, you don't look Mexican.
Where were you? We were in prison.
They said that? Well, that was easy. So you just fucking lock them up, or this is how they talk.
Why?
Shit, I guess why you're answering all our questions.
Murder. Oh.
Oh, so that was how the interview went, was it? That's that's the good thing, I guess, about the Congolese murderers is that they're stupid enough to tell you, I guess, right? Yeah, that's just sad. Oh, you don't get the spam, Edwin, you silly person. Why where are you from? Where are you from? Congo. Where were you? What were you doing in Congo? Prison. What are you doing? What? Murder. Oh, is it? Hold on.
They said, oh.
Oh, they said, oh, murder.
They said, oh.
Just murder. It's just murder. Why didn't you tell us about murder? I thought you were going to say armed robbery. That's murder. This guy's tough. Everybody come over here for a second. Everybody sit down. Sit down. My goodness. Shit. Watch this.
Largest illegal mass migration
Listen to this again.
in the history of the world. There's never been, you'd look at the pictures, there's never been a.
You look at some pictures. Yeah, he's looking at pictures for the border. That guy is awfully black. That's super black. That is really black. Are Mexicans black? Because I don't think so. This looks way too black for even a Mexican. Right, Don? Eric, come here. Does that guy look Mexican to you? Huh? He's black as an exclamation point. There is no way that guy's from Guatemala. Where's he from? Somebody ask him. Hold on, I've still got my radio that I can talk to Customs and Border Patrol. They gave me it as a gift. Hey, Charlie. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, I'm watching on the camera or whatever. Ask that guy where he's from. Congo? Fucking hey. What does he do for a living? Congo. He was in prison. Well, ask him. Now, ask him. Ask him what he was in prison for. Murder. I can't believe he fucking told you. And what are you going to do? Just let him in? Why are you letting him in? Wait. What? Oh, shit.
Migration like that. There's never been an invasion like that. Hundreds of thousands of people on a quarterly basis.
Quarterly basis.
Tough people. They had some prisoners from the Congo the other night. Where do you come from? The Congo. Where were you? We were in prison. Why? Murder. Oh. And if you look at the population.
Wait, no. How'd that story end? What? Stop. You can't just move on to the next anecdote. What happened to the Congolese murderers who just told everybody they were in prison for murder and thought this would get them into the country? You can't just, I've had enough cliffhangers for one fucking night.
The prison population all over the world, it's at the lowest number, they say. I don't know.
Do they?
Just read the stuff.
Yeah. You just read it. I read it. You read it. You've read it, right?
Makes sense because.
Yeah, it makes sense. You read it. It's the lowest. The lowest number of people in prison in the world ever because they're all just coming to the United States.
These, dictators and presidents and prime ministers, they're all smart.
They're all smart. I mean, their economies are crashing. They're total shit. Everything that you say is happening in the United States is actually happening in their countries. But sure.
They're all cunning people. I'd do it. They're bringing them up to our border. They're getting rid of them. They're putting them into our country. They're in our country. Their prisons are emptying out. Many of them are totally empty.
Oh, yeah.
They're taking MS-13, the toughest gang members anywhere in the world. They make our gang members.
They're in the Congo?
Look like the nicest guys. You want to take them home and introduce them to your daughter.
No, I really don't. I mean, I got to say, I don't doubt what you say about MS-13. They sound awful. But, Microsoft 13. He's talking about Windows 13. He might have a heart attack there about me. Hold on. Now you made me lose my thought. We got to back up. What the fuck was he talking about? Run this by. Oh, meeting your daughter. Yeah. So, Peckerwood, the white supremacist Peckerwoods, the ones in prison, they have the highest kill rate of any gang in prison. Like they're 2% of the overall prison population, and yet they have they're like 60% of the murders for hire or some shit like that. I mean, Anders Breivik, I suppose, would be very proud.
They make our gang members look like sweethearts, right?
Well, that's because they're not brown, I think, is what you mean.
And their prisons are emptying out. Their mental institutions are. Do you know what these countries are saving? There was an article in the paper the other day about it.
Yeah, it was the other day. This article, we'll find it. I'll look it up. It was I should be able to find it. It was in the paper the other day.
A psychiatrist.
Yeah, the psychiatrist, the guy who's like, I work in an insane asylum and there's nobody here because they're all gone and they all walked to America because you'd have to be fucking crazy to walk to America from Guatemala in your fucking sandals and a prison robe.
A couple of months ago.
Yeah, most of them got murdered about 8 miles from the fucking hospital because they're crazy and they don't know which way north is.
And he's sitting reading a paper at a desk, a very plain desk, plain chair.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're not spending all their money on furniture. It's a South American insane asylum.
Nice guy. He said, look, I used to work 25 hours a day.
Well, okay, so maybe he was a patient. Or he has a different clock. Maybe his clock's broken.
I worked all the time. That's all.
Well, sure, that would be the very definition, 25 hours a day.
All I did, but now I don't have anybody to work with because they've all gone to the United States. He was a psychiatrist, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever,
And he was saying this hospital was loaded with people, but now
I don't see anyone.
We don't have those people anymore.
Are you sure this guy just didn't get into the pharmaceuticals? It got to go in the cabinets and that he wasn't being interviewed in a room full of people and he's like, there's no one here.
They said, where are they? Oh, they're in the United States.
Oh, they're in the United States.
Now, do you know what that's saving countries?
I don't know. I don't think they really spend a lot of money on their mentally in a country in an impoverished country. Probably not a whole lot. I mean, some bowls of gruel, perhaps.
Same thing with the jails. And terrorists are coming in also.
Are they?
What they're doing to our country is not.
Yeah.
It's when you talk about insurrection.
I am talking about it.
What they're doing, that's the real deal. That's the real deal, not patriotically and peacefully. Peacefully and patriotically. You ever see Maxine Waters talk about the Republic? You go in there and you whack them.
Yeah, not so much. That's not actually what she said.
It makes you sick.
Yeah, it does. It does. I don't like any kind of political, physical confrontation or even joking or alluding to it or whatever. But yeah.
Ron DeSanctimonious, Nikki Haley, and the rest of the pack will never do what it takes to secure the border because they're owned by big money Wall Street establishment donors. Now, Ron's lost most of them.
How did the big money Wall Street donors make money by being overrun by communists and murderers and crazy people? Who has figured out, all right, who's the Wall Street genius who's found a way to mine insanity? I just answered my own question.
Because he's failed. You know, Fox gave up on him. That was the end of him. They realize you need a little personality to do this stuff. It helps to have a little personality. It helps when you don't have to use it. So far, I've used the teleprompter about 14. But isn't it better this way?
No, it really isn't.
I could read that teleprompter all day long.
No. If you just read it, this would have been over.
Biden can't even read the teleprompter. The other
Jesus Christ.
day, Matt, he's given
Yeah, Matt, tell us the story.
a thing. He's a news conference because he hasn't had one in about 6 years or something.
He's only been president for half that time.
Can't have it. You can't have a news.
No, he can't have one.
So he picks he goes, Bill from NBC, over here. So the guy asked him a very simple question, like about vanilla ice cream. But then they actually asked him a question about a border or something. So he goes, they ask him a question, Bill from NBC, they ask him a question. Very normal, and things are going very well on the border. Oh, thank you very much for the news conference. Thank you. And then he walks into a wall. But this is what we have as our president. We're going to end up in World War III. We're going to end up in a depression.
Yeah, a depression because of World War III.
I'll tell you, if I'm not elected, I think we're going to end up in a depression like a...
Yeah, well, you think he can wait that long? I mean, if he hasn't... Biden's incompetent, as you say, but if he hasn't been able to if his whole purpose has been to destroy the economy, and he hasn't done it by now, and it's not pointing in that direction, he had every chance. He could have let the recession happen and then just tip it into depression, but he just didn't do it. So maybe he's just too incompetent at sucking so much that he's actually good at something. It's, yeah.
29, because, you know, if you ever notice, every time like all the polls now say that I'm beating him, but you'd almost say, who wouldn't? This beautiful child, this young man.
Oh, stop pointing at the kids.
How old is he? 3? I would vote for him over Biden because he's more intelligent. Look, the kid's 3 years old. He's got better judgment.
He's pooping himself right now. Also, you're both, I think you only like him because both of you are the only people in the room wearing diapers.
You ever hear some of the people in Obama administration, Secretary of State, different people, and others, many others, they say there's never been anybody worse on foreign policy decisions. And I
No. You mean the people who admit that he was right about the surge, for example?
see it. You know, we're stuck in that whole thing with Ukraine. Very tough war to win.
Yeah, it's very tough. It's tough. I mean, you don't have to tell me. Ask Vladimir Putin. He thought it was going to be easy.
The one's a war machine, the other one's not.
Which one would that be right now? You want to specify? Or?
And very, very tough to win. And
yeah, right. So you mean NATO and... Okay.
They say, we will not leave until there's total victory. It's not happening that way, is it? You know how you know it's not? Because they don't cover it anymore in the fake news, you know.
No, that's because of Israel, Gaza.
If they were doing well, they'd be covering it. So you saw.
Well, we'll deal with that later.
Better know that way.
It's just bullshit, so it's not even interesting.
But just as I said.
But anyway, see, you could tell it's such a boring line. He's like, but
one of the biggest donors to Nikki Haley's super PAC is the same guy, Reid Hoffman. He's a ultra-left rich guy, billionaire.
Doing what with Mike? Sorry, is there an audio issue? people are saying? Check, check, check. Hey. What happened? Is there a weird... Do I have extra noises anywhere? Choppy audio? Huh. Yeah, maybe refresh your page. It might be YouTube on your side.
Who's one of the Democrat Party's top funders. He's also a funder for Nikki Haley. How do you answer that, Nikki? Well, and they're trying to stop Trump. So what they want to do is they'd much rather run against the sanctimonious or Nikki, but they're the party of disinformation, and they're great at it. They are great at it. You know, if they'd use this genius for, like, making our country great.
Which they kind of are. It's how they got a, I guess, technically speaking, they got an infrastructure bill passed and the American Rescue Package. It's working.
We'd be great in about 2 weeks, but they don't.
Everything's in 2 weeks.
They want to destroy our country. But they're always saying, we want to run against Trump. You know, you have a 50-point lead. So they say, you know, from the standpoint of the national polls, I mean, I think I have a 60-point lead or something like that, beating her by 55 points in South Carolina, where she comes from.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm sure that'll work out exactly the way you think it does. McLaughlin's right there with you.
But they don't want to run against me. Ask them, how did they do in 2016?
They beat you by 3 million votes. It was just a matter of swing states. That's not a mistake anybody else is going to make.
And then other than their cheating, we killed them in 2020. They don't want to run against me.
Yeah, they do. We're fine. Yeah.
They want to run against, and I'm the one that's beating them in the polls. There's some narrative out there. Oh, she's going to, no. And the same thing that happens to me is going to happen to them. Just
no, none of them tried to manipulate another country and use congressional funds as leverage. None of them tried to steal documents like you did. None of them are like don't have 27 credible sexual assault allegations. They didn't fucking party with Jeffrey Epstein for 2 goddamn decades.
So you understand?
No, we don't understand. Explain yourself. Why in the fuck would if we didn't do it to Romney, why would we do it to them? If we didn't do it to George W. Bush, what the fuck are you talking about?
They'll be indicted.
No, they won't.
Because they'll say she was having an affair or something, you know? That doesn't mean it's lying. But she'll be...
All right. Is that him just trying to drop some idea that she's having an affair or had an affair? Meanwhile, this motherfucker's, again, partied with Epstein for 2 goddamn decades, mostly while he was married. And then skipping, you know, wives, like, yeah, fucking one wife the next wife while he's still married to the old one.
Indicted for something. Ron DeSanctimonious will be indicted, and he's not going to handle it the same way as I handle it. He'll be in a corner crying, saying, Mommy, Mommy, I want to go home.
Okay. Well, we'll see, I guess. Yeah, we'll wait and see. And by the way, do you have dreams right now where you're in a corner crying, saying, Mommy, Mommy, I want to go home? Because that's what it sounds like.
He's not going to handle it this way. You think anybody else could get up here and speak to you all day and get indicted 4 times and have...
No, you'd have to be kind of a bullish asshole,
You
yeah.
have 9 trials against them? All...
Well, I mean, I guess you'd have to be a bit of an egomaniac, but you know, you're doing. I get why you're trying to bully your way through it. It worked before.
Trials?
They're not fake trials; they're real trials.
Nobody else. Nobody else. I love that trial.
I love that Trump shirt or whatever on you, sweetheart. Too bad you have a husband and I'm fucking gross. He just gave a kiss to somebody. Did you see that?
Nobody else. But just like, you know.
Oh my God. Oh, thanks, Poo Picker Upper. Look at that. Happy, January 15th. That's the day this shit's gonna go down. Oy.
Some people didn't like the name DeSanctimonious, but it really has caught on. I like.
No, it hasn't.
Some names I didn't like. I didn't like.
Nobody cares.
Crooked Hillary, but it caught.
Get on with it.
You know, sometimes they catch on. Low energy Jeb. That was a good one. That took him out of the.
Glory days. Here's some little young girl's eyes. Glory days. Remember when I used to have it? I used to have it, guys. Remember I used to have it? I used to be so slim and trim, and I had a good swing and a great right hook. Remember that? When I wasn't the shitty, broken down bullshit artist you see before you? When I was a young, ugly, self-involved bullshit artist?
As soon as I said it, that was the end of his race, because they knew I was right. But Ron DeSanctimonious, so what we do is, I think it's a great name because sanctimonious, you know.
Yeah, nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. He's not sanctimonious. It is not, that's not the nature of how he talks or what he does. He doesn't have, by your own admission, he doesn't have enough personality to be sanctimonious.
Sanctimonious because I got him the election and he didn't appreciate it, you know.
What the fuck does that have to do with being sanctimonious?
And he was willing to run against the guy that got him the election.
That's just disloyal. That's not, what the fuck?
So we call it Ron DeSanctis. Write them both out when you go home. Ron DeSanctimonious and write Ron DeSanctis. Just, it's like the middle of the word. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, genius thing. Because DeSanctimonious is great, but you can't keep saying it.
Yeah, you can't say it because it's great, but it's stupid and makes no sense and is just blather.
So now the other day he's being interviewed by semi-legitimate press, meaning one of the big networks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to have Governor Ron DeSanctis with us today. No, my name is DeSantis. Then he changed his name, remember? DeSantis. I said, never change your name in the middle of a campaign, Ron. I just put it out on Truth.
Yeah, also, why are you trying to help the guy? Well, he's your fault.
Truth is the greatest. All go to Truth.
No, it's kind of...
Forget about those other places.
Yeah, please, go to Truth and forget all the maggots. Forget about all other social media. Just go to Truth. Go park your dumb ass over there. Knock yourself out.
But listen, I said never
I'm listening.
Change your name in the middle of a campaign. You could do
Yeah, great
it
idea.
before, after. But don't change your name in the middle of a campaign. You said DeSanctis. I didn't like his, but actually I liked
He did not change his name to DeSanctis.
DeSantis better, right? Don't you? But one of those things. But people
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
who fund
One of those boring, pointless things.
Nikki Haley and Ron aren't working for your interests. They're working for the interests of other nations and themselves. And so are those two.
You mean the two people you got their jobs? You gave them their jobs? You put her at the UN and you put him, you helped him become the governor of Florida, and that's terrible? Okay, good to know.
Nikki would sell you out.
So we shouldn't trust anybody you like from this point on. Anybody you say is great, this is going to be bullshit.
Just like she sold me out. I mean, I'll never run against him. He was a great president. Why?
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's the same thing over and over again. Okay, so we need a cat break, and I've got to go cook dinner for the family. So, well, I'm going to take a break here. I'm going to pick some of these up. I might actually do a show in the early part of the day tomorrow, because I got to be honest. Tomorrow night, we're doing a show in celebration of David Bowie, because his birthday's today. So tomorrow, the ultimate jam night that we're doing at the Whiskey, we're going to be doing David Bowie songs, and I'm going to be singing Heroes and Dancing in the Street, and another one. I'll just surprise you. But anyways, I got to say, while he has a fascinating voice, it's not a lot of work. So I'm not worried about talking tomorrow. So we're not doing Under Pressure. I was so mad. I wanted to do Under Pressure, and yet I don't know why that's hard. I don't know why. You guys have to talk to Chuck on my behalf. I don't know what it is. I seriously. We're not doing I'm Afraid of Americans. I'm not doing it anyway. Somebody else might. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm not going to tell you what the other one is. Anyway, the point is that I can do his voice fairly easily, so I don't have to worry about blowing out my vocal cords for it, right? Yeah. I brought up China Girl, and they didn't want to do that one either. I was like, why can't we do why can't we do that? Like, how come? I was like, oh, little China girl. Yeah, right? Shh. Yeah, I mean, come on. That's fun. It's a fun song, for fuck's sake. But whatever. Maybe next time. I'll try and get it worked in someday. Also, before I go, a reminder that David Bowie never did, well, he's passed now, but he never had two different colored eyes. That is a mistake. That is a myth. That is not true. He suffered an injury as a kid, and one of his eyeballs was permanently dilated. The eye was wide open all the time. The pupil was wide open, and therefore it looked black, but it was actually the same color as the other one. There you go. Sorry to ruin it for you, but yes, it was a baseball. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's a true story. So you're welcome. I put my points in. Also, I don't know if it was caused, but apparently the baseball hit him in the eye and caused a problem with the kidney. mean, I heard.
Would I run? Ladies and gentlemen, I've decided to run. You know, it's like after listening to that for 2 years. She came to Mar-a-Lago to see me, to inform me that she'll never run. They're all false rumors. Then she ran.